Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die. That's a quote from number 7, Agent number 7, the Golden Finger, also known as Jeffrey Bond. And hello, welcome. Hi, Charky.
Hey, Cass.
Welcome, everyone watching at home, on Twitch, on YouTube, to the GoldenEye Rogue Agent playthrough presented by the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Hello, howdy to Bond fans out there. In particular, special shouts out to my fellow James Bond heads.
Yeah, hey,
chat.
Cass, guess how many James Bond films I've seen?
2.
Yeah, like 5.
Okay, that's more than I expected. It's more than the 2 I guessed. Hey, Charky, guess how many I've seen?
All of them?
All of them except the latest 2. I haven't watched Spectre and I haven't watched No Time to Die. But I just haven't gotten around to it. It's not that I have anything against them. I quite like those Daniel Craig Bond movies. I just haven't gotten around them. Okay, quick shot. What's your favorite Bond actor? Go.
Sean Connery.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm quite partial myself to Daniel Craig at this point.
He's very good.
Yeah, and then it goes
very different.
It goes Craig, Connery, Dalton, Lazenby, and then last place you can put Roger Moore. And it used to be the complete opposite. I used to really like the Roger Moore Bond movies. I liked the fact that they were just this completely cheesy. They were mostly comedy.
I think I skipped over in my head. Where was Brosnan on that list?
Oh shit! I forgot to put Brosnan on the list.
Yeah.
I'll put him right before Dalton.
Okay.
Anyway, James Bond is a subject of the game today. Despite not having 007 in the title, this is, in fact, a James Bond game sans James Bond. This is Electronic Arts. This is November 22nd, 2004, the day the bad guys took over. And this was a game released for the GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox, developed by EA Los Angeles, the former DreamWorks Interactive. We'll get into that when we get into the pre-game, the history section, and of course published by EA Games, published by Electronic Arts, in collaboration with MGM in their interactive division. But yeah, this was from the weird era where Pierce Brosnan had just stepped down as James Bond after Die Another Day was a critical flop, commercial success, mind you. And again, I'll get into a little bit of this Bond history in the history section, but this was their answer to the question of, if we don't have a James Bond actor currently lined up, if we don't know who James Bond is going to be in, the movies to come, what the hell do? We make a game built not around Bond, but set in the Bond universe. And it was released to middling results, middling critical and commercial reception, not just because of the premise. I honestly think the premise is functional. I think the concept has legs. I just don't think this was the game to run on them. But we'll get into that when we get into the actual game itself. And this should be like a 2-parter, give or take. I think like usual time to clear is somewhere between 3 and 4 hours. But you know how long we take. You know how much we dilly-dally. So expect a 2-parter on this one. And some multiplayer action. I really do want to do some multiplayer in this at some point. Whether this episode or next episode. I want to show off some of the multiplayer. Because it is arguably like the best part of the game. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But speaking of...
You know what's arguably the best part of the stream?
What would that be? The part where we cross bridges?
No, I was going to say the stream snack.
I appreciate your confidence now and you declaring it the best part of the stream. Yeah. I feel like we're really like upping our game here. Please take it away while I crack open my my Monster Ultraviolet. So don't mind this if the mic picks up on that.
So tonight's stream snack is pasta salad. It's aside from a restaurant locally. I got a chicken club for dinner tonight, and it was very good. Not chicken club, a California club for dinner tonight. It's very good, but it was also very filling. So I was going to have salad for the stream snack, but I'm just having pasta salad instead. And our drink is
vodka martini, shaken not stirred.
That's what it is. I'm not going to shake this because it's going to spray everywhere. Our drink tonight is Rip It Energy Fuel Melon High Goat Watermelon. And that is goat as in greatest of all time.
I will say, if the next James Bond game we play on stream, it'll probably be like Tomorrow Never Dies on PS1 or maybe 007 Racing. I promise I will prepare a vodka martini for that stream. We picked this last minute. I didn't get a chance to get vodka from the liquor store before the stream today, so.
Let's try this. When I went to the store, I almost picked up Fireball whiskey, which is close enough. Anyway, let's try this Melon High Goat Watermelon. Oh.
Is it the greatest of all time?
This is the greatest melted Jolly Rancher of all time.
Yum.
That's exactly what it tastes like. It tastes like a melted Jolly Rancher, but cold.
Johnny Baggett saying there's also the Vesper drink that Bond invented in Casino Royale, but I never remember what it is. Yeah, it's just like a combination of like 20 different things. And he's like, I should give this a name, and then it proceeds to never drink that ever again in the movies. A little bit of Bond trivia for all y'all. So not your favorite drink?
No. I don't even think it's the worst I've had, but it does really disconcertingly taste like a melted Jolly Rancher. Well, there was another drink I didn't get at that store called Crunk Energy.
Oh.
And I didn't get it because I looked all over the thing and there was no caffeine. I could not find anything that said what caffeine was in it.
Then what's the fucking point? Then again, I don't know if what I'm drinking right now has caffeine either.
But it listed stuff like, its energy stuff was like White Willow, Skullcap, and it was like, it sounded like a list of things that you would put in a potion in Skyrim. Nirnroot.
Is that it for the stream snack?
That's it for the stream snack.
All right, very good. Thank you, Charky, for the update. And again, I promise, alcohol incoming one of these days. Again, I will line up vodka for James Bond to do it right, to do it justice. I did promise. You please first.
Last little bit on the stream snack. This pasta salad, very vinegary. That's it.
All right, very good. So we did promise a bit of history of GoldenEye Rogue Agent, and I intend to deliver on it. First of all, let me just say, this is a game we've written about before back in the day. If you want like the full story of this game, I recommend our own article on the subject, badgamehalloffame.com/goldeneye-rogue.agent. And we'll have like, a bunch of sources listed in there for much of the information we're going to cover here. But this is just a brief that we're doing here. We really just want to get into the game on this one more than anything, but there are a few important pieces to cover here. Starting with the release of one GoldenEye 007 in August 1997, a game that had been in development for 2.5 years. I think it began around January of 1995 at Rareware. They basically put their B team on it. Is the thing that people tend to forget. There's been a lot of stuff about GoldenEye and the development of it in the past few years even. More stuff than was available when I wrote my article, so I can say with some more confidence that the team assigned to GoldenEye 007, they first started, they wanted to make it a side-scrolling platformer, because Donkey Kong Country in 94 had been so successful. Then they pivoted to a rail shooter. They were trying to ape Virtua Cop. I think at some point, and I've never seen confirmation of this, save for like one like errant, possibly hoax screenshot, that there was an attempt to like bring it to the Virtual Boy at one point in time. That obviously fell through past a certain point. But the important thing here is that this is a team of inexperienced developers, and that inexperience leads to them like bucking all the convention, all the trends of the first-person shooter in developing this game. And in the process, they sort of establish some of the new standards of the first-person shooter. I also want to mention the multiplayer is a big part of GoldenEye. I actually played some GoldenEye multiplayer just in the past week against some folk, and that game is still fun, as it turns out. People seem to forget, though, that the multiplayer was not intended from the start of the game. I have a quote here where David Doak claims that one Steve Ellis, who was a late addition to the team, he programmed the cheat options, but then his biggest credit, his biggest claim to fame, is implementing the multiplayer mode just 6 months before the game's release. And so David Doak says that Ellis sat in a room with all the code written for a single-player game and turned GoldenEye into a multiplayer game, which the team then proceeded to go way off track by everyone just kept playtesting the multiplayer rather than continuing to work on the game. So that was like a problem during development for a little bit. But ultimately, the game comes out, receives critical acclaim, sells over 8 million copies, making it the third best-selling Nintendo 64 game in that system's time. The game was praised for its visuals, gameplay depth, variety, and of course that multiplayer mode. Receives a BAFTA in 1998 as well as 4 awards from the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences. Eventually spawns a spiritual successor in Perfect Dark, which is the superior game if we're being honest here. And then, later down the line in 2010, we also get the GoldenEye remake by Eurocom. But that's outside the scope of this little history section, because we want to get to the subject of Rogue Agent, of course. And before we get to that, we need to first establish Electronic Arts securing the rights to the 007 video game license. The first EA James Bond game, was published in collaboration with MGM Interactive, and that was Tomorrow Never Dies for the PS1, released November 16th, 1999, developed by Black Ops Entertainment, who would go on to make Fugitive Hunter, War on Terror, the bad Terminator 3 game, and just a whole bunch of other dog shit. Just like one of those studios that people wonder how they got contracts, and the answer is because they work cheap and deliver games on time. Doesn't mean the games are good. And Tomorrow Never Dies, certainly not a good video game. But regardless, on the same day that Tomorrow Never Dies on PS1 is released, EA issues a press statement in collaboration again with MGM that they've closed a multi-year deal with MGM, granting EA exclusive worldwide rights to develop, publish, and distribute games based on the James Bond character. I have this GameDeveloper.com article here. I'll link to that in chat. I know no one clicks through on these links in chat, but I like to do it anyway for thoroughness. To quote here,
it's so the people on YouTube can type it in one letter at a time on their own.
I also just put it in the descriptions of the videos.
Okay.
In case you're watching this right now and you never noticed, we do put the links to all the things I post in chat and all the articles. I do always put those in the description too, so you can check those sources later. But to quote from this article, a quote from this press statement, Electronic Arts plans a series of Bond games for both console and PC, the first to be based on the current Bond film, The World Is Not Enough, for release in 2000. It is with great pleasure that we join forces with EA to build the Bond name into a leading game franchise, concluded MGM Interactive President David Bishop. The Bond license is the longest running and most successful to date, and we are confident that combining the talent and passion between all parties will result in a line of top quality interactive entertainment titles that stays true to the Bond world. A line of top quality interactive entertainment titles. Just to say games, dude. Just say this, like, top quality games. Interactive entertainment titles. Man, that's a little wordy.
Games for children.
So this partnership gives us a number of games. Some of them you may have heard of. The World Is Not Enough, which is a banger on N64. That version of the game, great. Black Ops unfortunately made the PS1 version. There's an old stream we did, which was a compare and contrast between the N64 and PS1 versions. And boy howdy, I recommend going back to that one if you want to see how two studios can take the same source material and make two very different games out of it. One of them good, one of them bad. We get 007 Racing, which we played in a Chance Time recently.
Yeah, it was a Chance Time.
That was rough as guts. Then we get Agent Under Fire, which I contend is very good, especially the multiplayer. Nightfire, which I contend is but the multiplayer is really good again. And Everything or Nothing, which has a fun little co-op mode, but I never really gave the campaign much consideration. But, so basically EA does have a line. All those games are, in their own respects, very commercially successful, some of them even critically so. But we run into an issue in 2004. Namely in October of 2004, where it is announced that Pierce Brosnan will no longer be playing the role of James Bond. In those previous games under the EA partnership, Pierce Brosnan's likeness was used, barring Agent Under Fire, I believe. I don't remember if they used his likeness in 007 Racing or not, but They use a
I don't know if
generic
you ever
stand-in.
see him in.
Yeah, he might just
007
be
reason.
behind the windshield the entire time. But, Pierce Brosnan was the Bond for many people, was the Bond of that generation, of that console generation, and moving into the next one. And so this is sort of like a gut punch for some folk. I have a article here, it's like from the Sci-Fi Wire. This is the day it was announced in October, what day does it say there? 14th, 2004. And then there's a book by the name of Some Kind of Hero, The Remarkable Story of the James Bond Films, written by Matthew Field and A.J. Chowdhury. I'm going to go with Chowdhury. Where they go into like the details of it. Basically, Brosnan had asked for too much money to do a sixth film after Die Another Day. And so negotiations eventually broke down while he was on vacation. To quote Pierce Brosnan, as quoted in the book, "I was in the Bahamas working on a movie called After the Sunset, and my agents called me up and said, negotiations have stopped. Producers Barbara Broccoli and Michael Wilson are not quite sure what they want to do. They'll call you next Thursday. I sat in Richard Harris's house in the Bahamas, and Barbara and Michael were on the line. We're so sorry." She was crying. Michael was stoic, and he said, "You were a great James Bond. Thank you very much." And I said, "Thank you very much. Goodbye." That was it. I was utterly shocked and just kicked to the curb with the way it went down. So, fired is the word that happened here. And, rightfully so. Die Another Day really exposed that Pierce Brosnan was getting up there in years, that the CG action having to compensate for, like, practical effects, and then the mess that turned out to be. But for our purposes, what's pertinent to us is the fact that Electronic Arts probably had this news. Like, this story, despite being reported on in October 2004, this probably happened, like, some months prior, maybe even towards the beginning of 2004, that Pierce Brosnan would have known the news, and they probably just kept it under wraps so that people could continue to speculate for that period of time. So at some point, Electronic Arts realizes that they're not going to have Brosnan in their next game. So they put a plan into action. They start developing 2 games contemporaneously with one another. The first one is obviously one we're covering today, the game that becomes GoldenEye Rogue Agent, but it's worth mentioning that the other one is 007 From Russia with Love, which is the one that has the novel idea to bring back Sean Connery, to bring back one of the old legacy actors and rehash one of the legacy movies, which is a very inspired choice, I gotta give it to him. But we're more interested in Rogue Agent right now, so let's get to it. Or it was known, when it was first announced, just known as GoldenEye 2. That's what they went with at first. They formally announced it on February 27th, 2004. Again, probably already knowing well in advance that Brosnan isn't returning. The working title for this game for a period in time, as revealed in an interview that we're going to source later, was Goldfinger versus Dr. No. Was this supposed to be called like 007 Goldfinger versus Dr. No? This is the announcement. In this announcement, it's noted that the team EA Los Angeles, the former DreamWorks Interactive, are the developers tasked with bringing this game to task. You may know DreamWorks Interactive for the Medal of Honor series. You may also know them for 1998's Trespasser Jurassic Park, which we've streamed in the past here as well. And that's a game that I still stand by, warts and all. This is to say that the team at EA LA knew their way around a first-person shooter. Those Medal of Honor games were highly influential, very impactful. They had a team of roughly 120 people working on this GoldenEye 2. And there's some big names among them. I just have like a short list here. There's popular composer Paul Oakenfold doing the music, legendary production designer Sir Ken Adam, who had designed many of the sets for the original Bond movies. He's brought in to do like concept art to conceptualize the levels. We have screenwriters for The Rocketeer, the movie The Rocketeer, Danny Bilson and Paul DeMeo. We have Silent Hill's character designer, Takayoshi Sato, doing all the character designs for this game, reconceptualizing these characters. We have Rebecca Ann Heineman, one of our personal favorites, friend of the show, in the engineering department, and even American McGee of Doom, whose studio, the Mauritania Import-Export Company, is credited for the game's multiplayer design. So that's a who's who right there, not even counting, like, people who would go on to have, long-running careers in the industry on whatever level. These people who had come from the rock stars on the team who had come from the Medal of Honor days, too. So competent hands here. The issue is definitely not in talent, let's say. We have this IGN article on the screen. I will link to it here. I'm going to quote from it just a little bit here. Electronic Arts today officially announced the first details of GoldenEye 2, which IGN had actually reported on 2 days earlier. They actually scooped EA on this presser right here. A game in which players will experience Bond like never before as an evil dropout 00 agent. Whether they're implying there that Bond is like the dropout in this because there's not, privy to the details of it, or it's just bad phrasing. Who's to say? Gamers take on the role of an agent who's dismissed from MI6 for reckless brutality, and who then subsequently joins the ranks of the criminal underground. Joining up with supervillain Auric Goldfinger, players battle for control of the world's greatest criminal organization. After patting EA on the back for its high critical marks for the recently released James Bond Everything or Nothing, John Riccitiello, sorry, threw up my mouth a little bit, EA's president and COO, said, "And we're not done yet. Today we're announcing that we are developing GoldenEye 2, working title, a game where players become the ultimate villain in the Bond universe." But a lot of the details of the game's development, some of the most pertinent, and some of the, in retrospect, in hindsight, funniest quotes, come from this interview with executive producer Patrick Gilmore, who was really the face for the game. He did a lot of interview around this time, a lot of pressers, a lot of on-the-floor stuff. This is an interview conducted with mi6-hq.com. It is still up. Here is the link to it. And I'm going to quote from Patrick Gilmore here. And, take these comments with a grain of salt as we get into before we get into the game. Ahem. The original GoldenEye broke new ground in a lot of areas. It wasn't the first, but it was the first to really do it well. They built the game on these basic principles: great multiplayer, hot environments, great AI. What we've done with our product is to acknowledge that several years have gone by since that game, and that technology has advanced. People's concepts of AI have advanced, but those fundamental pillars are the same for us. So we're simply taking what made the original GoldenEye great, and we're making a game that focuses on the exact same thing. We're trying to give people that exact same thing, but in more of a contemporary context. Okay, so first of all, great multiplayer was not a principle of the game. Like I said, it came like 6 months before the game had come out, so it was really an afterthought, a fortunate afterthought. Great AI? No, that was never really what people knew GoldenEye for. The AI is actually pretty stupid if you observe their behaviors. Hot environments? I don't even know what that means. I mean, the fundamentals of GoldenEye has really solid gunplay and objectives.
There was a jungle.
Well, yeah, okay. Temperature-wise, you mean? Well, most of the game takes place in Russia.
Most of the game was, I was thinking to say most of the game's in Russia, and there's also that snow-based level. So
that's true. That's surface. Another quote here, where they continue to dig their own grave, where they continue to talk on the legacy of GoldenEye, the original. Ahem. Well, in GoldenEye, we go deep in the first-person shooter mechanic, and we really focus on the action on the ground, whereas a lot of James Bond films, a lot of James Bond games, though, what James Bond is all about is action on land, in the sea, in the air. So Bond is flying helicopters, flying jets, he's in tanks on the ground, he's, driving vehicles, and our game is really just about the ground war. It's really just about that mechanic, the first-person shooter mechanic, and putting our player in some of the best gunfights we can possibly create within the James Bond universe. Let's hold them to that. Let's see how that materializes in the final product, why don't we? Here is some concept art for what GoldenEye, the character, the protagonist, antagonist of the game. This is drawn by Takayoshi Sato, who we mentioned, Silent Hill character designer. This was apparently supposed to be based on the likeness of Gary Oldman, is who they were going for here specifically. So they wanted their protagonist to, I don't know if they were trying to get Gary Oldman on the horn. I can tell you that in the final product, we have a silent protagonist whose face we barely see. So, And that's just one of many, many scrapped ideas in this game. I would guesstimate that, probably 50% of the design document for this game was left on the cutting room floor. Whole levels, whole sequences, whole characters, whole, boss fights and mechanics, just that had to get cut over time. I'm going to quote myself here for my own article. I had a paragraph on this, so I'm just going to read that real quick. Despite this dream team of developers and designers, the game still struggled from a slower development process than originally projected. In the time since the game's release, some details of cut content have surfaced: unfinished maps and characters for the game's multiplayer, more environments and encounters, and perhaps most notably, the lack of a frequently touted scrimmage mode that would have effectively served as a players versus bots option for the game's multiplayer levels. Of course, none of this was made transparent to players in the period before the game hit shelves, and I have to imagine that many of these cuts were made during the last 2 months of the game's development. You can even chart a sort of timeline for where the development may have begun to be rushed, as multiple press outlets were invited to an EA Community Day event to promote the game in July of 2004. At that point in time, when an interviewer asked executive producer Patrick Gilmore if the game was still on track for its November release window, he responded with what seems to have been a genuinely confident absolutely. And of course, with that amount of content being cut, the only way you make a release date like that, if you have this grand ambitions for a game, is just by stripping it bare, stripping it down to bare essentials, which, that's every game. Like, spoiler alert, most games end up with a lot of content on the cutting room floor, a lot of scrapped ideas. But when the issue is when the game feels barren, when the final product feels like it has gaps, feels like it has holes in it, and I would contend that's what we're going to be experiencing in the game to follow. Here's a cute little wallpaper for GoldenEye Rogue Agent that you could, 1024 by 768 wallpaper, you could use as your desktop wallpaper on your personal computer. If you're curious who that lady is, that is Natasha Bedingfield, who is a pop star in Europe, who has a cameo in From Russia with Love, and who does the credits music for GoldenEye Rogue Agent. Does not feature as a character in the game itself, so it's odd that they feature her so front and center and frame in this little wallpaper image.
Be like if Die Another Day posters had Madonna on the cover.
Yes, but Madonna's actually in the movie.
She is?
Yeah, she's the fencing instructor or whatever.
I thought that was just for the music video.
No,
I couldn't remember.
I think she has a small role. This is around the time that Guy Ritchie was putting her in movies. Her husband at that time, Guy Ritchie, and boy, that was a rough few years there. Just some rough movies. I'm going to quote myself again here to talk about the game's release. Usually I would save this for the end. I just want to get it out of the way here because there's not too much history report on here. The console releases for GoldenEye Rogue Agent were met with underwhelming reviews and sales numbers for the franchise. While sales across the GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox totaled at somewhere around 1.5 million sold, as per VG charts, this still represented a significant drop from EA's previous entry in Everything or Nothing, with that title having ultimately sold something in the neighborhood of 3 million copies. Despite having dug up the GoldenEye branding for what can only be described as the most cynical of marketing ploys, EA seemed to have failed to bait consumers. Oh, and releasing 2 weeks after Halo 2, as well as just 1 week after Half-Life 2, probably didn't help matters much at all either. Just for time frame there, there's a few other banger FPS games coming out in the last quarter of 2004. Maybe those overshadowed Rogue Agent just a little bit, just the teensiest bit. The hammer of critical consensus certainly came down hard and swift on Rogue Agent, having previously described the game as one of the most anticipated first-person shooters of the year in a first look posted earlier in the year. GameSpot's eventual review of the title pulled no punches, with Jeff Gerstmann citing poor level pacing, lack of variety, and writing off the plot as a second-rate fan fiction. He would ultimately land on a final score of 6.3 out of 10, a sentiment he echoed in describing the game as a low-rent version of Halo 2, would be a recurring one among reviewers, as comparisons to that smash hit were practically inescapable for any first-person shooters released over the course of the following year. Of course, Rogue Agent was in something like a uniquely unfortunate position as to be more directly compared against Halo, given its own emphasis on the dual-wielding mechanic, which, if you remember, was a big sell in Halo 2, was the fact you had dual-wielding, and that was also like the big marketing push for Rogue Agent, as we'll see in the game itself. And I do love guns akimbo. I don't know if this has come up before, but I think gun in each hand is like the coolest thing a person can do. The coolest thing a video game character can do. Hey, speaking of Halo, remember Halo DS? It never came out, but this ties into Rogue Agent. So you'll see how it ties in. I'm just going to read from myself again. This is the last slide, so we'll get into the game soon enough, but I just want to get this bit out here. On October 2nd, 2007, IGN staffer Matt Casamassina posted a video to the site titled On Camera Halo DS Demo. In the introductory portion of the video, Matt claims that once upon a time there was this game that was in development and credits the intentionally unnamed developer as being a, quote, major studio, major publisher, AAA publisher. With the preamble out of the way, a brief demonstration of multiplayer gameplay is shown as Matt battles in-game against another IGN staffer on what looks to be a recreation of the Zanzibar map from Halo 2, complete with characters in Spartan power armor and scaled-down renditions of weapons from the Xbox game. In addition to this video, 2 others featuring direct capture footage were to be uploaded to IGN as well, fittingly titled Dual Wielding and SMG Battle for their featured gameplay content. You can find these videos. They're still up on YouTube. I don't know if they're still up on the IGN website. But yes, these were footage of this prototype running. Before video footage of the software in action had even been released, rumor of its existence had grown pervasive enough for Bungie to have to publicly get in front of it. In an interview with Silicon Era in July of 2007, Halo community manager Brian Gerard provides the insight that it's very likely that someone at some point in time had created a prototype and tried to pitch it, and that there has never been an officially funded or sanctioned development of any sort of DS Halo game. As far as reactions to the released footage itself, some took to calling it some sort of elaborate hoax on the part of IGN. Other sources would try and claim that EA was behind the creation of Halo DS in some way, misattributing the company at large as a development studio. People think that EA made games rather than publishing games. Ultimately, there was one conclusion that was eventually settled upon by most folk, that the gameplay in this DS demo bore an uncanny resemblance to Rogue Agent's Nintendo DS conversion, which it did have. There was a Rogue Agent conversion for the Nintendo DS, and it's fairly obvious in hindsight what we're looking at here when we look at this. Developer Nspace tossed together a prototype as a part of a pitch to Microsoft or Bungie or whoever else to try and entice them into greenlighting a full-fledged Halo 2 conversion or companion game for the Nintendo DS. And they had used their existing framework from the development of Rogue Agent on the DS, since doing so would save them a ton of time and resources for what might very well end up being a quickly rejected pitch, which it was. And, you know, the system for Guns Akimbo was already there too, right, in Rogue Agent, so that makes the template that much better a fit for a Halo game. And while they might not have been able to get that Halo game approved, that opportunity didn't pan out. It's okay, though, because they made all the Call of Duty games on DS and used this engine, the Rogue Agent engine. So if you ever played any of those Call of Duty DS games, you're playing like on the same foundation, the same bones as the Rogue Agent DS conversion.
Did they have dual wielding?
They do not, I don't believe. I could be wrong on that. Who's to say? And that'll conclude our little slideshow section. Just, I think it's interesting that the lasting legacy of this game, of Rogue Agent, in my mind at this point, is that weirdo, like, Halo DS thing, that whole debacle, and that leading to the Call of Duty games on DS. It's interesting how all that stuff ties together. Maybe more interesting than the game itself, if we're being truthful here. That's not even true. The game is interesting. It's just very flawed, which we will get into as I'm launching it now, which means that we will be seeing it on screen soon. Yes, there we are. Pick up my controller while I'm at it. Hopefully that slideshow was interesting to folk. I always like doing those. I had to do that one in just under 2 hours, basically. Because we settled on this game late last night. I should thank Nebula from the Discord, who was the one to suggest this game initially, that we should just do this for Thursday. And here we are, Neb. Hit him with a link to the Discord server, if you don't mind. Do I want to do this at, like, 2x resolution, or do I just want to do, like, native resolution for this? I prefer doing software rendering, truth be told. I've always preferred just, like, you know, the original look rather than trying to make this game look better than it actually was, look prettier than it actually was. EA games. Challenge everything. From the era where you had to sit through all the splash screens.
Heartlover says, it's kind of wild to me there hasn't been a 007 game by AAA studio that long. No, we had ones for the Daniel Craig movies. Not all of them, but... Not all of them.
They stopped making them after... Quantum Solace. There was 007 Legends was the last one, which is another game that I stand by, which, you know, funnily enough, that game is a Call of Duty engine repurposed into being a, like, revised, revisionist history version of the plots of, like, what, Goldfinger, a few others. I like that game, though. And IO Interactive is obviously working on the next James Bond game, and I kind of do eagerly anticipate that. Let's get into some options here. This game has native widescreen support. We're going to play it in 4x3. I just feel like most people played this game back in the day in 4x3. I prefer to play things that were built with 4x3 in mind in 4x3. I've never been one for like those PCSX2 hacks. ETPC in chat. Hello, ETPC. I still remember you telling me about the 007 Legend PC port that one time, Cass. Yeah, the PC port of 007 Legend is completely broken. They fucked up the mouse implementation so that it controls like an 8-way joystick. So you can only move your mouse in 8 directions. It's just one of the most broken things. It has no controller support either on PC, so you don't even have a fucking choice but to play it in this completely busted way. Just a hilarious, horrible set of circumstances around that.
Yeah, I had that PC version on my list of games to play until you told me, like, oh yeah, it just doesn't work.
Yeah. There's 8 missions in this game. They're all very long. Except for this first one. Let's just look at the levels. Fuck it. This is a full save. Fort Knox, Auric Enterprises, Hong Kong, the Midas Casino, the Hoover Dam, the Octopus, Crab Key, and Volcano Lair. But all good things start at the beginning. We will select Fort Knox. We will play this game on normal difficulty. If you play it on harder difficulties, you get point multipliers. I don't care about the unlockables. There are multiplayer unlockables, which I really should care about, because like I said, the multiplayer is kind of okay, and there's some very interesting maps in that lot. But enough preamble, let's get to the damn thing. After another loading screen, of course.
3 years ago, while on assignment, the agent was severely wounded in an encounter with Dr. No, and subsequently lost the use of his right eye. Consumed with vengeance, he frequently resorts to violence and brutality, and is no longer fit for service with MI6.
That is one of 2 lines recorded by Dame Judi Dench for this game. I think they had her in the studio for one of the previous games and had her just record a couple more lines, just like in case they needed them or with this game in mind.
A member of the most powerful criminal organization in the world has seized the U.S. gold depository at Fort Knox. He intends to irradiate the bullion reserve with a nuclear device, which will devastate...
Make it spicy.
As his crimes threaten the security of the Bank of England itself, you and 007 will work in concert with Army commandos to neutralize Goldfinger's men, then locate and defuse the bomb. Good luck, gentlemen.
So, yeah, there is James Bond in this game.
Tactical vision. The heads-up display will need calibration.
There he is. That's James Bond.
Yep.
Completely generic face James Bond, though he does look, Pierce Brosnan-esque. Close enough. Alright, movement and aiming controls. Precision is the controls that we're familiar with today, where right analytic is turn and aim and look around. They still have the option for classic controls. I'm sticking with precision. That's what I'm used to for these console shooters. Yeah, keep those settings. Controls are set.
Now we can jump out of this plane to save Fort Knox, or you can take the mystery laptop.
I go with laptop.
Approaching the gold reserve. Looks like a damned hornet's nest. Hang on, gentlemen. Oh, watch your fire!
Hate those exploding doors. Alright, not the best start to this mission.
Hans, you opened it too hard.
Alright, pay close attention to this scene. See that guy jumping across the rubble there? Most people won't.
I didn't. I actually missed it.
I'm over here. I can't seem to break free.
Oh, don't worry. I'll help you out, buddy. Well, goodbye, Mr. Bond.
Well, our game now.
Yep. Well, we're the protagonists now. Man, it's wild that they had the balls to kill off James Bond this game, that this isn't just some, like, shitty bait and switch or something. That this is absolutely legitimate. Alright. So, you may notice the crosshair is not center with the screen.
A little high.
This was not uncommon at the time, but for it to be this egregious is a little uncommon, I will say.
It's because he lost. It's because he lost his right eye.
Oh, so he has to look up all the time? What is this?
Yeah, he like his eyes are like arranged vertically.
What it actually is that you are aimed at like headshot level, and also because the gun models are so big, and because the dual wielding that you're seeing right now is such an integral part of the game, it is essential that you know what weapons are in your hands at any moment in time. So giving that extra space to the weapons, I guess, was their idea, the best practice. In execution, very unnecessary.
It does feel like I am like unnaturally looking up a lot, though.
Yes. And I imagine most players would have subconsciously like realized this, if not just like fully realizing. But you know, Halo has a crosshair that's not center screen.
Yeah.
Video Game King says, fun fact, in the 3DS version of this game, the 3D stops working after your character loses right eye. I'm assuming that's a joke because there's no 3DS version.
That's a joke about the Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh, okay. Did you do that in the Snake Eater on 3DS?
Yeah.
That's funny. That is funny that they do that in that game. I just completely forgot that existed. So, you know. Oh, wait, no, that's a dead end. Shit. You may notice we have a little, like, arrow pointing in the direction we need to go, so that's handy enough, I suppose. I just need to find where it was actually pointing to. Probably this door, if I had to hazard a guess. Also, we are using a two-handed weapon here, so we press the Alt-Fire button. Scope. But this scope looks so fucking gnarly, too. They couldn't center it for the scope. We just have this weird view.
I get why, because if you were trying to line up a shot, you know, in normal view, and then you went into first person and it just went down, that would be really weird. Or if the entire screen changed. Like, that's probably, like, the smoothest way to handle it.
You're not wrong. It just looks gnarly.
Yeah.
It just looks haggard.
It looks really weird to have, like, a lot of the scope, a significant portion of the scope just off-screen.
So this is a big mechanic in this game, is the hostage taking. And by big mechanic, I mean...
system.
Yeah, it's a co-op shooter now. All right, you have your controller plugged in, right, Sharky?
Yep.
All right, now press the X button to yell at them and say, please don't shoot me. Right. You can't actually... I see you plugging your controller, and you can't actually do this.
Listen, I commit to the bit, even if it's something that literally no one at home can see.
Well, they can see, because it has PCSX tooltips in the top left corner. Alright, so... I have no more use of this guy. Rip.
That was enough to kill him?
Died from being tossed. Yeah.
I was going to suggest, like, shooting him in the butt on the way down.
Kind of pithy little pistol they give you, for starters. You had a question?
I was about to say, does your character have a name yet?
Oh, they never have a name. We never learn this guy's name. People just call him GoldenEye at a certain point. As a nickname. Alright, another big mechanic in this game that goes mostly underutilized.
Environmental kills?
Yes. You get bonus points for using those, but most of the time it is frankly not worth the trouble. Like, there's a few fun ones, I suppose, that seem like particularly brutal, but for the most part you're going out of your way. Enemies are smart enough. They had like a nickname for the AI, like hench or like scum or like something like that, like some like acronym name for the AI system. I don't remember it offhand. It's in the article, but they're smart enough to know when they're in trap zones and to get out of them if they're able to.
Whoa, that just spawned.
Well, they dropped from the ceiling is the idea. Okay. There was a sled above. They do contextualize those things. They do, like, you know, make some sort of sense in the environment.
ETPC says EVIL.
Yeah, that's it.
Which sounds right. Yeah.
That's right. That is correct. I knew it was something stupid, you know? Oh, the other thing is that enemies can trigger the traps on you, so if you're standing in a danger zone and someone is, like, near a button, they could be the ones to press it, and then you will be trapped, and you will be sucked.
Video Game King asks if that crosshair is off-center horizontally, too. I don't see it.
maybe slightly to the left. No, you know what it is? Look at the guns. The P90 goes off screen a little bit, so it feels like you're like leaning right, or you're only looking out of your left eye, you know? But ultimately, the crosshair is in the center of the screen. Let's check this way. Maybe get a little bit more ammo. And I thank you, Charky, for reading the chat, by the way, keeping tabs on that stuff. When I'm first-person shooting, it's a little tough. Oh. Well, too bad our teammates don't have that evil AI. Maybe it would have saved that guy. Maybe it would have saved that poor Special Forces soldier.
What is Goldfinger's full name? It's Auric Goldfinger?
Auric Goldfinger.
So his name is Goldfinger?
Yes. I might as well just call him Midas Goldfinger, you know? Now, luckily, throwing a hostage at someone actually does temporarily stun them, so you can chain hostages. Oh! One of those baddies shot that, and that did a number of damage, did some damage to me. But we recovered. Oh, I should also mention, when you don't have a weapon in your offhand, when you don't have a gun there, they let you toss grenades. And grenades are highly effective in this game. I'm trying to figure out who's shooting me and from where. It's very rude of them. Ah, there we go.
Oh. Can you shoot the grating?
No. Here, enjoy this. That did not work.
Nope. I don't even know how it got over there.
Ricochet, bounced off a wall or something. Look at all that gold. All I gotta do is just break in there, take a couple bars, get out of this fucking place, and I can quit MI6.
Forces have penetrated the facility. You must reach the vault before the bomb detonates.
No subtitles for those lines from Dame Judy Gents, but what can you do? Turn subtitles on. I've done all I can do. Alright, toss that nade there. We can use the top right indicator. You see those like little icons that pop up? Like that's a very good indicator of when you get kills. Yeah, when you get like environmental kills, any sort of like high scoring kill will show up there.
Remember the older EA 007 games where anytime you did anything more complicated than just shoot a guy in the head,
it would play the
it
theme.
Went like da-da-da-da.
Yeah, the 007 moments or whatever they call them. Bond moments. And you also picked up 007 logos. Yeah. At least in Agent Under Fire. And probably Nightfire as well.
I'm pretty sure Nightfire did it too.
So, Guns Akimbo.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how fucking awesome it is to have Guns Akimbo in a video game. To be able to independently fire them off. So that, like, I drain this, I'm still shooting while I'm reloading. So it's like I never have to stop shooting effectively. That's a great way to lay down suppressing fire. It looks cool. Now, it feels awesome having two separate triggers that do two separate things.
Now, that's the smart way to do it, but the way I like to do it is dump both at the same time, just so it's, like, more oppressive gunfire.
Yeah, that's usually impractical.
Your way is smarter, I'll admit.
It should also be noted that, you know, GoldenEye 007 did have dual wielding.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it was not, like... There's only two guns that you're meant to carry, two unique weapons you can carry at the same time, in the RCP-90 and the grenade launcher, Xenia Onatop in the jungle level.
Two-stream game, huh?
A two-stream game, believe it or not.
Program.
See? Bullshit bait and switch. See, James Bond is fine.
You were directly responsible for the death of 007.
No.
Fucking hell!
No. There's no place at MI6 for an agent like you. You're dismissed.
Your tactics for the helicopter that you weren't filing and getting shot.
I think the reason I mentioned that FMV cutscene and pointing out like where GoldenEye is in that scene, I think the implication is that he jumps early and doesn't take Bond with him, that he jumps without notifying Bond, and that somehow leads to Bond being like stuck dangling, or I don't know. Very badly broadcasted, very badly described here.
I feel like that's like favoritism to Bond there. Like, Bond fucked up and died, and it's like, GoldenEye, you should have done better. You're fired.
Yeah, I think they're just looking for an excuse. Bob Maynard says that I get a feeling that the team really meant for you to kill James or to otherwise, like not help him, to more obviously do something. But then the people up top, which in this case would be the Bond rights holders, was it Eon Productions? I always forget. I think it's Eon. Or Dan Jack, one of the two, who are just like very Bond can do this, can do this, can do this, cannot do this, cannot do this, cannot do this. You cannot show him a video game doing this.
You know what would have made more sense and been more meaningful is if you were the one hanging from the wing and Bond was hanging from your leg or something like that, and he's like, pull me up, and then you just shake him off so you can live.
Yes, that would be that would work. That'd be perfect, actually.
You could easily have been more than your eye.
A slightly different Bond opening than what you might expect. Slightly lower rent, slightly more
blown out audio.
Ranks with our organization. He must be eliminated.
I declare war on Goldfinger.
War.
I mean, you can't deny that stylized. Whether that style is good or not.
It could easily have been more than your eye.
By the way, did you see all the characters they mentioned there? All the legacy characters? All six of them?
Oddjob, Scaramouche.
Yeah, that's it. Those are all the legacy characters. 3 from Goldfinger, 1 from Dr. No, 1 from the Man with the Golden Gun, and 1 from GoldenEye.
And reclaim what he took from you.
I have to imagine there were more
Great.
at some point in time. That's the real Christopher Lee, by the way.
Yeah,
Only
I
actor to
ask.
reprise his role here. Besides Dame Judi Dench.
Weird lyrics for our Bond.
For her opening song. Very descriptive, though.
I was going to take the opportunity. I assumed there was going to be their own little theme.
They say that for the end of the game, and it is
okay.
dog shit. That Natasha Bedingfield song, horrible.
Activated for your next mission. It may take a few moments to adjust. I've also arranged for your first upgrade, MRI imaging. When activated, magnetic resonance will enable you to see enemies lurking behind cover, but its range is limited.
So this is
Your first job would be working for the TSA.
You won't even have to use the scanners there. Yeah, the other big gimmick in this game is the ability to use hack commands. To use your golden eye.
Bring me the omen.
You get a few more abilities over the course of the game. None of them particularly useful, might I say.
Here at Auric Enterprises have designed many weapons, but this is their greatest achievement. The Omen, the organic mass energy neutralizer. It virtually disassembles the atoms of living matter. A new era is upon us, and no one who stands against me will survive.
Funnily enough, Auric Goldfinger's performance in the original Goldfinger, he was also dubbed. And, the actor on screen did not provide the voice for him, because he was a German actor. I don't remember his name offhand. They're thematically consistent in that way. Alright, so this is the Midas factory, or this is a Goldfinger-owned facility.
Yes.
It is now under siege. Let's see if we
Golden
can...
Corral.
Yeah, that's what he calls it. And, the ribs are to die for. Alright, let's do some more dual wielding.
So I'm going to ask the question I was going to ask that because I assumed we would get a Bond theme at the top. What is your favorite Bond theme?
Tomorrow Never Dies, Sheryl Crow. That's an odd pick,
Yeah,
I know, but
no,
I really like Sheryl Crow.
I was going to say that too. I was going to admit that it might be kind of a weird pick, but...
It's very classy. I just think it's a very classy song.
Yeah, it is on my Spotify playlist.
Only
I will
fools
say-
rush in.
I will say my runner-ups, or however you want to phrase that. Live and Let Die. I do like that
Yeah,
song a lot.
awful movie, great song.
Yeah. And Casino Royale.
Yeah. You Know My Name?
Yes.
Okay. Let's take a little more cover. I tried rushing. Like I said, only
Now,
fools
this
rush
is a
in.
cover shooter.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they would not give me the ability to see through walls if they did not intend for me to take cover. They also give us weapons that are capable of piercing through cover. Namely this one, the mag rail. The mag railgun can shoot through cover. Here it is.
Chat's weighing in on best Bond themes as well, or favorite Bond themes. ATPC says the world is not enough by Garbage.
Yes, that's a solid one. Many great choices. Let's be clear here. It's
Bob and Bag both say Casino Royale, but Bag also puts in Living Daylights.
that's the Duran Duran one, right?
Can't remember.
No, View to a Kill.
And Magic Meows says the rejected one Radiohead did for Spectre.
You know what the worst Bond theme is? That one from Quantum of Solace, where it's like the duet between Alicia Keys and whoever else. That thing straight up sucks.
No, that I've never heard.
Oh,
Like, the last Bond film I saw was Casino Royale. I always meant to see Quantum of Solace at the very least, but I never did.
it's not the worst Bond movie. View to a Kill or You Only Live Twice gets that honor. It's not good, though.
But least favorite Bond theme off the top of my head that I have heard is Die Another Day.
Yeah. Analyze this. Analyze this.
Which, that was like on Madonna's American Life album, right?
Yeah, the one that has the Madonna rap, the American Life rap.
Yeah.
I'm drinking a soy latte. I get a double shot. It goes through my body, and you know I'm satisfied. I drive my Mini Cooper, and I'm feeling super duper, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, this was a prolonged prompt to get you to do that.
Yes, thank you. Check this out. Bye-bye, idiots.
My turn.
You know, got some bonus points for that.
Aware of what I'm doing. Can't you
I can
see?
blow some shit up in the environment, too. Gotta make sure they don't press the button on their end, because I believe there is a button somewhere over here.
We got
a
a
different
drink
gun. We got a drink up? Thank you, I will drink up in that case.
Same. More of this melted Jolly Rancher.
So more on the akimbo.
Yeah.
This is a fine implementation of it, better than most games that do akimbo. Oh, as much as in GoldenEye that you get like doubles weapons. There is also a glitch in GoldenEye you can do if you're skilled enough, where you can combine any two weapons in your inventory to dual wield them.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
It only works in like a few levels unless you're cheating, but you know, so this is like an extension of that concept, just to some extent. I would still argue this could have been done better. My ideal akimbo, guns akimbo in a game.
4 guns.
No, 2 crosshairs. 2 independent crosshairs for each hand. And a button that you can press to either like dilate to move them closer together or further apart. It would have to have gratuitous auto aim as well, and you can make the weapons like super inaccurate at that point if you're using like dual pistols or whatever. I don't mind the accuracy penalty, but I want to be able to like, you know, the thing about dual guns, about 2 weapons, is that you can shoot 2 people at the same time. So to have the crosshair completely centered and just have them shoot at the same spot, I get that it's like more accessible. I get that it's more intuitive.
So my ideal implementation of the guns akimbo are in games like Devil May Cry or stuff like that, where you can shoot in 2 directions, and it's something that is like logical and makes sense, because like you don't have to worry about like aiming in one direction. You are kind of auto aiming, and then can say like, okay, while I'm shooting this guy, the other gun is going to shoot behind me at the guy coming from behind me.
Anything that facilitates the ability to shoot in 2 directions really is what I'm getting at here. To shoot 2 people at the same time.
There should have been an Equilibrium game.
Oh god, it would have been the best. You want to talk about movie tie-in games? Come on, give us Christian Bale. Give us actual Christian Bale in the Equilibrium video game.
I mean, it could have been like quality level. It could have been on the level of like Minority Report the game. I still would have really dug Equilibrium the game.
That dude just walked into that rocket flame.
Yeah.
He just wasn't
finally
looking.
death.
he just did not have his eyes on the ball. This shotgun is middling, by the way. I don't love it.
I'm trying to think of games that let you do akimbo to that sort of like Gun Kata level of stuff. Like
10,000 bullets on the PS2.
Yeah, 10,000 bullets. Like, Devil May Cry, you can kind of do that, but that's not like the core gameplay mode.
Unless you're playing Devil May Cry 2.
Yeah, let's play Devil May Cry 2.
dual pistols is the way to go in that game, from what I seem to recall.
Man, I hate the fact that unless you've got a copy of the PAL version of the game and like all the PAL setup, 10,000 bullets is not really a thing you can play because
Not
it
an
does not
emulation.
emulate.
Yeah. By the way, you notice what room we're in right now? It's kind of important. It's kind of a big deal.
Oh, this is the room where you're expected to talk.
No, you're not expected to talk. We're expected to die.
Oh. Now, we were talking yesterday... Okay, well, speaking of talking, we were talking yesterday about this room and how you were saying people don't remember how Bond
No, I was
gets
saying that
out of...
Gas Can in our chat was saying that in the Discord server, saying that people don't remember how does Bond get out of this. And the answer is that he talks his way out of it. He bluffs and it basically convinces Goldfinger to untie him from the table. But people remember, as Gaskin contended, that people remember the Simpsons bit where he uses the quarter to bounce the laser back or whatever in the parody of this scene, and people just seem to think that's what happened in the actual... It's like one of those like conflated memories things. Some people might even call it a Mandela effect. And those people would be morons.
I saw Goldfinger so long ago that I couldn't remember a single thing from that movie, really. So if in that moment where I was trying to think, like, how does he get out of it? I was like, James Bond's crotch is made of metal.
Yeah, he's wearing a cup.
Yeah.
Always wear a cup.
No, he's not wearing a cup. It just is.
Oh,
that
yes.
That is just the state of Bond.
Gold penis reflects the lights.
Or like it's not actually like a Bernie laser. It's just like a laser pointer, and he was just trying to scare him. I was like, you got it. I almost had you.
So we have another gun here. I'm waiting for an opportunity to really... fuck it. This will do. Remote detonation. You shoot a bomb, it sticks, then you pull the trigger again to blow it up. One of the genuinely fun weapons in this game. Is it the most practical thing in the world? Probably not. Video King saying that 10,000 bullets is playable. Yes, but all the cutscenes desync because of a emulation FMV error. The game itself is playable.
And the cutscenes are amazing. So
and the cutscenes are like half the game, or half the fun of that game. So.
I'm picking up what this game's putting down with weapons already. You know.
Weapons that let you be an asshole.
Weird, gimmicky weapons like this.
The problem is that, you know, they're practical enough, but never necessary. You know, most of this game can be won with just, like, 2 P90s. Alright, that's progress, baby.
Alright. Maybe a controversial opinion.
Lay it on me. We're all about controversial hot takes on the Bad Game Hall of Fame.
Since I was talking about Goldfinger, I will say, I have not seen Goldfinger in a very, very long time, to the point where I barely even remember it. We were talking about Bond themes. I remember not liking the theme to Goldfinger.
It's a classic.
It's a classic.
I wouldn't listen to it, like, you know, for entertainment purposes. It's perfect for the movie.
Yeah, that's true. But for the sake of just as a song to listen to it, I really don't like it.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, I think most movie soundtrack stuff, you know, doesn't stand on its own. Yeah. Like, most
the thing is,
soundtrack stuff is good in context. We were talking about this, like, in game soundtracks. In the Discord the other night, I was talking about how most game soundtracks I wouldn't listen to, like, on my iPod or whatever, you know, my proverbial iPod. You know, like, they're good in the function of the scenes they exist and were composed for.
With Bond movies, though, like, I can think of, like, a number of Bond movie themes where it's like, oh, this is just a good song to listen to. This is just a good song outside of the context of James Bond.
Sure.
And, like, Goldfinger is definitely not one I would listen to outside of the context of James Bond.
Sure. I'll give you that. I wouldn't listen to most Bond themes just casually. I need, like, when I am listening to a Bond theme, I am watching, like, you know, the intro to the movie. I need to see, like, those shots, those sequences, those incredible masterpieces of editing. And they are masterpieces of editing, all those classic, like, Bond intros and stuff.
There's a game called I Expect You to Die. It's a VR game. I think there's like there's 3 of them now. But they're basically like VR escape room games, more or less, that are spy themed. But at least for the first one, which is the only one I've played. But they have a Bond style intro song, like a full on thing, and they do the like what you call it, the whole like editing and like style of a Bond opening, but you're sitting through it in 3D as it kind of happens around you, and it's a neat effect. It was kind of an early-ish VR game, so it felt novel, especially at the time. And it's a good pastiche of what like a Bond theme is supposed to sound like too.
I believe it. I'll look into that. Show me after the show.
Sure. I mean, it does kind of lose some of the effect though if you're not in 3D.
In VR. Sure, no doubt, but you know, what the fuck else am I gonna do? How else am I gonna experience it? I don't have VR. But I would like to. Folks, support the show. Consider subscribing on Twitch, pledging on Patreon. Give us money that I can blow on a VR headset. And then I promise I will stream VR stuff once and then never again. I still want the light gun more than anything. I'm still really angling for the Sinden light gun, using like supporter money.
I feel like I could theoretically stream a VR thing, but there are so many hurdles. I've streamed enough VR stuff in the Discord that we all kind of know, and they're like, "Hey, the output on that is weird and janky." And it's like, it doesn't give consideration for what someone on a computer monitor might be looking at.
Sure.
Because the eye is like... Because if I have to look at anything, like in VR chat, which is the main thing I stream in there, if I'm doing VR, if I want anyone to see what I'm looking at, I have to like tilt my head like way up.
Yeah.
Because the camera's eyes are like if they were on my forehead or something.
It's not ideal, to say the least.
Speaking of eyes, you haven't been using your GoldenEye power.
Oh, it's fucking useless.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely useless. Those are most of the powers. I think there's 2 of the 4 that are like even remotely practical, and we do not get them until late in this 8-level campaign. Here, have a grenade. Told you grenades are super fucking effective in this game, and I was not lying.
Tiny Baghead is upset that you have said that the powers are useless.
Well, they're wrong. They're straight up useless. Sniper rifle. Oh, come on. Hey, jabroni. There we go. Analog stick aiming. Have I mentioned I'm not good at it? Good enough. Well, let's just drop that sniper rifle as quickly as possible.
It's the only way I can play first-person shooters. Literally because I don't have a desk to set up a mouse, so it is the only way I can play first-person shooters. I've had to learn.
Cool shotgun blast. Ay, ay, ay. One of these days, honestly, the first thing, if people really want to know, the first thing we're going to buy with like show budget once we have consistent income is get you a goddamn desk. I know there's other factors. We don't need to get into them on the show, but we desperately need to get you a desk.
Yeah, I need a chair that I can sit in. Now, granted, I have a chair. There is a chair that I can use. It is ready to go for when I have the desk. But at the moment, like, I do all these streams sitting straight up in a bed with no back behind me.
God, I hate that shotgun.
So if
fire rate
sometimes
is too slow, doesn't do enough damage. Sorry, continue.
I'm saying sometimes if I sound like I'm starting to get like really far away when I do these streams, that is mainly because I have to keep readjusting because this is uncomfortable.
No doubt. Quality of life improvements for the stream.
Yeah.
Decent rocket launcher. It certainly shoots enough stuff quickly enough. It shoots faster than the shotgun. You can shoot rockets in this game faster than you can shoot fucking slug shots from a shotgun. In what universe does that balancing make any fucking sense? Oh, that's a superpower troop.
Oh, what's a superpower?
He takes more bullets, carries 2 P90s. 1 grenade will still take care of it, though. And look at this. So we need to exit this dome here, but that doesn't look right.
No.
That's how it looks, though.
Okay, remind me, who gave you your eye? I assume it was...
It was the man with the golden gun, Scaramanga, Francisco Scaramanga.
Okay,
My name is Pussy Galore. You look like you could use a ride.
Scaramanga gave you the eye, but you're working for Goldfinger.
Yes, against Dr. No.
Welcome to the capital of global operations.
Okay, pay close attention here.
We have powerful friends here. One gentleman in particular is our pipeline for special weapons and technology. He's waiting to meet you.
I'm Francisco Scaramanga. Your golden eye was built by one of my contacts. I've arranged for periodic upgrades as well, which you'll find...
They're gonna mention something here.
Service to our comrade Goldfinger.
Or maybe not in this scene. I'm waiting for them to call this Octopus, to call the criminal organization Octopus, as opposed to Spectre. And do you know the whole story behind that?
I can see that in the background. No, I do not know the story behind that.
Spectre, the rights to Spectre as the name of the criminal organization that runs through all the early Bond movies was held up. It was stuck in licensing between Dan Jack and Neon Productions and the Bond rights holders and whatnot. So for a period of time, they had to rename Spectre to Octopus as the name of the evil organization, and that manifests in this game, in the From Russia with Love remake, and they didn't combine those things. They didn't get the Spectre naming rights back until Spectre, the movie, the Daniel Craig movie. Yeah, Johnny Backus says it was owned by the guy who co-wrote Thunderball, who wrote the screenplay for Thunderball. So that's what it was tied up in for a while there. And so as a result, you get these games that have to... they try to make Octopus sound menacing, which it just isn't.
Goldfinger is pleased with your performance on the mountains. He asked me to arrange for another upgrade.
Cool, what ability do we get now?
The hack feature will allow you to tamper with machines and electronics from a distance. The effects vary depending upon the target. A burst from the hack upgrade can cause an enemy's weapon to malfunction. It's also an effective means of manipulating and reprogramming electronic equipment via remote control.
So you can trigger buttons from a distance.
Trial of the EM hack.
And you can also disable weapons.
I look forward to reviewing
fun.
So, here's my thing. You have to be pointed at a person to disable their weapon. So you have your crosshair on them. Why not just shoot them?
Nothing to obtain them. We must act now before he launches another attack.
Let's fly.
I mean, I like fucking with enemies.
My trial informant has tracked him to his eastern base. I'm sending you to Hong Kong. Your mission is to assassinate Dr. No. Our contact will provide an appropriate weapon. Miss Galore will fly you out when the job is done. Dr. No.
Do we have a reason to not like Dr. No?
He's the one who shot us in the face and lost us our eye.
Construction site.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And also, he's just a rival to Goldfinger. They're both competing. Spectre, the thing with Spectre is that everyone is competing against each other to be like the one whose plans are the ones that gain world domination. When you have an organization filled entirely with villains, with evil masterminds, there's bound to be competition. So that's the schism we're seeing here.
I have left a sniper rifle one level above you. It is in a silver case. Wish you good hunting.
Oh, what was that noise?
Okay, I was waiting to see if he would even notice me at any point. Give me a headshot from a distance. Nah, fuck it. There's an Easter egg in this level that we'll have to get to.
Like,
oh my god, I hate playing with a controller. I'm sorry.
It really feels like you're up against an army of the main character from Time Splitters.
Yeah, funnily enough, within a year of this game coming out. Future perfect. I think some of the same people involved in some capacity. I think it was mentioned in chat earlier. I don't know if EA published Time Splitters Future Perfect or not, or if that was the thing, but... And, the other thing is that, Dr. No Goldfinger, characters from the 60s and 70s, right?
Yes.
This is all modern day. And I get that this is like an alternate universe where you're meant to just, like, assume that they, the timeline is such that they're operating modern day. 007 Legends did the same thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, because that's like Daniel Craig is in every era. So.
Yeah. Which, I don't hate that. I'm not complaining about that. It's just an interesting thing to know that they set the timeline so that these villains are not only not dead as roles of James Bond, invalidating the canon of those previous movies, while also, like, recycling those characters and stuff. It's just confusing to think about.
It's like how, like, you have to keep pushing up the date of Batman seeing his parents die. Like, at what point
do they stop showing Zorro in theaters?
Yeah, at what point does it not make sense for him to go see Zorro in a theater?
Goldfinger pays me well. But Dr. No pays me better.
Why are you still standing there? Why did you have to announce that? Why not just have a bomb in the suitcase? Why go through all this bullshit?
Spectre has a 2 minutes notice rule. It's like 2 weeks notice, but they're villainous.
Okay. So, first I need to kill all these enemies. This is the Easter egg. I know I spoiled it for you last night, but hopefully there's some people in the audience who will find this amusing. Down to just one.
Okay, how does having weapons work? Do you only have the weapons that you are currently holding,
yes.
like one left hand and one right hand weapon, and that's it?
That is correct, and I can drop them by holding down square or X. So if I wanted to go single-handed, I could do that without having to just expend the ammo. When you expend all the ammo in a gun, it just automatically drops it.
So there is no, like, holding a weapon, like, in reserve in your back pocket.
Your pistol, your default pistol, and your grenades are always in reserve.
Okay.
So once you free up your hands, it'll switch to the pistol in the right hand and the grenade in the left hand. Where the fuck is this enemy? There's supposed to be one more up here. I saw them shooting at me. Whatever. Hopefully the little Easter egg still works even without that enemy taken care of. Okay. Let me remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Here.
Think.
No.
No?
Here. Oh no, the enemy's still alive. Once he dies. Okay.
Alright.
Let's try this again. To the right of that flame I went into. Right. Oh, I was right. You use this to line yourself up. Crouch.
There it is.
Walk
Da-da,
right through that. You know, so there's a seam in the wall here.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Huh. No. This boat is from Medal of Honor Pacific Assault, I believe, or Allied Assault. One of the two. They recycled the model because this is the DreamWorks team. There is TC and JP, who I assume are some developer abbreviations, developer nicknames. Yeah, this sign here says, "Why Nothing Work?" So a little dev image hidden in here. But most importantly, golden gun.
Well, don't forget to mention the boots.
Oh yeah, and the boots that pair with the cow. Top Secret, 1984. Good movie.
Yeah. All right. I have a question about the golden gun.
Yes.
I know I have asked this before, but in the movie Man with the Golden Gun, is there literally anything special about the golden gun other than it being golden?
It is compactable. It is hidden. It is a cigarette lighter combined with a pen, combined with whatever, so that Scaramanga can covertly like sneak it into places under the excuse of him just taking like his personal belongings with him. And also, the bullets are custom made by a master gunsmith, so it is presumed that the bullets have some maybe Full Metal Jacket or something along those lines. Maybe it's high caliber. But, it's not like, if you shot someone in the foot with that gun, in the logistics of the movie, it would not kill them. It's not like poison tipped or anything. It is one-shot kill here, and it is breech loaded in that way. Which is fun. In the original Man with the Golden Gun book, I think it's just like a golden revolver. I think it's just like a gold plate revolver. I'm wasting these golden gun shots because I suck at shooting with a controller.
So there's a line that Scaramanga says in the movie that I'm pretty sure is the sole reason why the golden gun is a one-shot kill in like every game. What was that line again? You know it.
It's something to the effect of like, you know, one shot's all I need.
And I assume that the entirety of the golden gun being used in games as a one-shot kill is based on that.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, the thing is that Scaramanga is an expert marksman. Like, what he's saying is that he only needs one shot to hit his targets.
Yeah.
And that was somehow conflated to be. I was paying too much attention. I was thinking too much about James Bond, and not enough about a GoldenEye, rogue agents. Oh, we still have our golden gun. Pathetic.
One punch is all I need.
This has a scope? Sure.
I think that's your eye scoping.
This is a two-handed weapon, by the way. You cannot carry this with any other weapon. It just drops it. I think this gun also appears in the multiplayer. I think there's a golden gun mode in multiplayer, so...
Sure, Instagib, sure. Wow, that bullet propelled him into you. It was a
tractor
vacuum.
bullet.
Yeah.
The latest in Goldfinger tech. Or Man of the Golden Gun, Scaramanga tech. Whatever. I need to use grenades more often. I don't use grenades enough in first-person shooters. Is the honest truth. I always forget that I have that tool, because I just love shooting guns so much. That should get 2, yep. That one slid across the floor. Alright, let's have some fun with one of these guys. Whichever one lives. Alright. Alright, bye-bye, birdie. Make it to the platform, make it... Oh, we can't see.
I like how rigor mortis set in midair, like very quickly.
Hey, it happens fast. It happens faster than you'd expect. Can't skip this prolonged. Just dance on the top of the elevator. Take that gun though. Oh, he's along for the ride. Going down.
Hold the door. Get the gun. Thank you.
I was in some buttonless elevators over the weekend. Ones where you have to use a key card to activate them on the ground floor. You say what floor you go up to, then there's no buttons inside the elevator except for the emergency ones. And can I just say that in a hotel with like 40 floors to it, those are some of the worst elevators I've ever been on. Some of the longest fucking time I've had to wait for an elevator in my fucking life. And I've been trapped in an elevator before in college.
That feels like a really bad idea because, like, what if you realize, like, oh, wait, no, I needed to go to the other floor.
Then you're fucked. Then you have to get out of the elevator, wait for a different one to come that's going up or down. Just a horrible elevator system. It was the big complaint over the whole wedding weekend across all members of the wedding party. Alright. I haven't mentioned it, but this level is, this is in Hong Kong. Right. And the next section is going to be a little dicey. This is probably the best level in the game in terms of just, like, you know, pacing, and in terms of, like, you know, some of the action, some of the stuff you get to interact with. Yeah, that's debatable, maybe. But aesthetically, in the next part of the level, it's going to take some turns.
Let's see. Fist bump. Yeah, I killed him.
Fuck it.
Magic Meowsis, do you think they sell them as AI-powered elevators? I was going to actually say, like, the worst-case scenario of this would be to have, like, a ChatGPT-powered elevator
that assumes what floor you want to go onto, and then it springs you through the ceiling of the hotel and flings you into the air like Willy Wonka's magic elevator.
You know, that's
powered
a thing.
AI.
That's a thing I hate about. There's some fast food places doing this now. The one off the top of my head that I know does this is Rallies / Checkers, where they are drive-thru is now AI.
Ooh.
So you just get a robot voice saying, welcome to Rallies. What can I get for you today?
To what fucking end?
And then you say what you want. Pray to God that, it interpreted it correctly, because it will not repeat it back to you. And then you'll spend, like, the next half a minute of it going, like, would you like to add beef or bites to your order? No. Would you like to add a drink and small fry for $3? No. Would you like an apple? I've had it go on for so long that, like, the person working the counter actually interrupted the AI, just go, please pull around. Because, like, the AI would not shut up trying to upsell me on everything.
That's awesome. What an awesome future we're living in right now.
And of course, on top of that, if you read into it, it's one of those situations like the Amazon stores where it's not really AI. There is someone on the other end listening at all times.
Weird level transition, by the way.
Fuck up.
Just in the middle, apropos of nothing, it felt like. I was in the middle of a gunfight, and it's just like, oh yeah, we're loading the next area now.
Yeah, it's a fucking awful system, because, like, it will not repeat back to you what your order is, so if it got it wrong, it got it wrong. And it will not tell you, like, if they don't have something. Like, if you order milkshakes and the milkshake machine's not broken, it doesn't know and it doesn't care.
Why would it?
Just ring up.
Can you tell we're in Hong Kong, by the way?
Oh, yeah. Now I know. Now I can tell.
And guess what? The dragons shoot flames. Who architected this building? Alright, let's go back up. Let's see if I can set off any more traps. But also fuck this guy in particular.
I'll wait till you get to the level in America with the giant animatronic cowboy eating a hamburger.
Then he pulls out a comically oversized revolver.
Yeah.
Fit for a billboard.
What is, oh, your health. I was like, what is beeping constantly?
It is recharging. I don't know if we mentioned that yet. I don't think we've mentioned it yet. You have recharging health in this game. You know, it's like in GoldenEye, which is this is a spiritual successor to, hence the name. I mean, you're not going to make a first-person shooter in 2004 and not have regenerating health and shield, you know? We're not regenerating shield. You do have to pick up shield.
Yeah.
So that was their compromise. That was their happy medium.
Magic Meow says this has nothing to do with GoldenEye. You have the golden eye in your eye. That's
just like in GoldenEye the movie and video game, where Pierce Brosnan replaces one of his eyes with a golden eye. Like, duh.
No,
I've fake Bond fan spotted.
I've never seen GoldenEye the movie. I almost saw it. As a kid, I loved the game. I rented it all the time at Blockbuster. And then a hurricane hit. And we had to, like, shelter up at a hospital for, like, a week or two. It was, like, a huge hurricane. And we still had, like, basic television access there. We were sheltered up with, like, a number of families. And on basic television, GoldenEye was going to come on. And I really lobbied everyone. I was like, hey, let's watch GoldenEye. Like, I love GoldenEye, the game. I want to see the movie. And everyone was like, okay, kid, because I was very small. And then, you know, when the movie came on, I didn't watch it because I was kind of too upset because there was a hurricane and I was really worried about things.
That'll sully your enjoyment of a dumb action movie.
Yeah, everyone else watched it though. I remember the only thing from GoldenEye I know, and I remember, because I walked in to the main lobby during this, was there's a scene. Let's see if this memory is built on a lie or not. There's a scene where there's like a woman in a bar and she's really badly singing Stand By Your Man.
Yes.
Okay, that is the only thing from that movie I remember, and sometimes that just comes back into my memory. It's just that one scene and her singing really badly.
Remind me never to use a shotgun ever again in this game, that this is one of the worst shotguns ever in a video game. Next time I pick up a shotgun, say, Cass. Just a horrible... Fire rate not there. They were trying to make the super shotgun. it falls well fucking short of that mark. Even at close range, the spread can like completely whiff what you're trying to shoot. Just an all-time horrible fucking shotgun in video games.
Actually, wait. Now that I think about it, are any of the Bond movies on like streaming services like right now?
Probably. You would think so, right? I have a
so.
DVD collection from like back in the day that had everything up to Casino Royale. Oh, so people mentioning the Mega 64 Pizza Connect sketch when talking about like the AI ordering system, and yeah, Mega 64 predicts a lot of stuff, and that's one of their most pointed predictions, to be sure. Okay, zipline, duh. All right, I think this part's a little tricky. Wish me luck.
Okay. Don't pick up the shotgun.
Thank you. Fuck's sake.
Punch him twice. I think I've convinced him to come with me.
I'm gonna get shot from every fucking angle up here because there's no like actual like ground cover. He's at the fucking YOLO at going up the ramp. Luckily I have these grenades. Oh, fuck's sake! Okay, I forgot to cover that. I should have tossed a grenade there. Ugh. I thought this was the good level in this game, right? Oh, these checkpoints.
I think you said the previous level was the good level in this
No,
game.
no. I meant this whole, like, Hong Kong section.
Okay. GoldenEye is on Amazon Prime. So here's what I'm going to do. There's a hurricane headed towards the Gulf of Mexico right now.
You're going to do a redo, you're going to make good for...
Yeah. I will say, if the hurricane comes to Louisiana, then I will watch GoldenEye.
Great. High stakes. Okay.
So let's hope I don't watch GoldenEye.
Yeah, for your sake.
Yeah.
You could also just watch it in the Discord. I don't know. Shit.
Nah. I want to commit to this.
You want to watch it on your own terms? You want to watch it only as contingent on a bit? That is the Sharky way. I mean, in
also,
fairness.
it gives me something to do if I lose power during the hurricane.
How would you watch if you don't have power or internet?
Phone. And you can download videos from Prime, store it on your phone.
Okay.
Also, when hurricanes happen, we do have a generator, so we plug up the modem to the generator. So I still have internet access, but I wouldn't be able to, you know, probably do a stream correctly.
Right. All right, no grenades. Let's just dual wield. Bag says, pro tip for Cass, you can use your GoldenEye to jam enemy guns. All right, let's do that. Let's see how many guns we can jam. 1, and we can't use it anymore until it recharges back to 100. So cool, I stopped one person shooting at me, and they are still shooting at me, mind you. They're just not hitting, which is nice, I guess. Functionally fucking useless. Like, I don't understand the point of that power-up.
There's a situation where, like, a gun is not an instant hit, instant kill, right? Like, unless you have the golden gun. Or if you're, like, point blank of a shotgun, right? So, situationally.
But in situations where I need to, like, disable guns, I'd want to disable, like, 7 guys at once shooting at me.
Well, like,
that would be handy. Was an EMP pulse would be handy.
You have 2 guys right in front of you. You, like, as you pass your, you know, crosshair over, you disable one, and then move on to the second guy to shoot him, and then you have, like, less bullets coming at you. You save, you know, a little bit of... It's not do or die. It is not going to make or break your survival, but it's going to help a little bit.
The problem is that they don't regenerate the power quickly enough, and that all these things are basically meant to, like, take on a single target at a time. They needed abilities that hit multiple people at once, and that recharge relatively quickly so that you're actually encouraged to use them.
Yes, that would be better.
As it stands... I could have just shot that dude in the time it took to, like, line up the thing, make the EMP work.
Yeah, it really should recharge like way faster than this.
Yeah, no kidding. Granted, you only need 50 or 40 for the... Cool, put a scope on that, like, assault rifle, yeah. Super handy, by the way. I got a couple people with a grenade. Grenade, my beloved. Very cool. Awesome. It's a good thing I disabled his weapons, you know, for a while, for a temporary, for like 10 seconds. And I was able to capitalize in that time. Alright, fuck the assault rifle. The spread on it. There's no recoil in this game, by the way. It's just artificial bullet spread. You're supposed to fire things in burst, and then generally you'll be pretty accurate. Like, the first 3 or 4 shots, like, are all pretty much on target. I don't know, I just don't think the shooting in this game is very good in general. The auto-aim needs to be, like, way more generous. It is on. But, you know, these console games, especially with how stiff the movement is, there is no PC version. Okay. If there was, that's the version I would play. But, like, this movement just does not feel good when it comes to aiming. There's only the slightest bit of, like, momentum to it.
Is it like acceleration? Is that the issue?
Yeah, and I don't know. Everything this feels a little too slow. You can adjust the sensitivities on this, and so maybe there's like a value I could tweak it to that would be like more in my comfort range. But I think ultimately it's just like a game where they expect a level of precision for your shooting that is just not afforded to you. And with so much gunfire coming your way, like, you don't have the time to be dicking around, standing still, lining up shots. So these are just like, and again, like, the guns like have decent like punchy sound effects, but you know, this shotgun.
Hey, shotgun.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing it for a point here. All right, get back up. This is mid-range. A shotgun should be killing at this range.
Yeah.
It's animation where they go down and makes it look like they're like dying, but then they're just getting back up. They need better stagger animations.
A couple of times.
Yeah, that took 3 shots. Now, granted, I can get in close, and let's see how good it does up close. This is close to me. I got a nut shot, so it worked. Is he gonna get up from that one? Inconsistent at best.
Maybe it works on, like, Doom rules. Like, there's, like, a percentage chance for every single pellet.
Ah, come on!
He's pulling up an RNG table for if it's gonna hit.
I jumped off to take cover and wait for my health to recharge. And I was, like, firing full auto in that direction. I guess the issue was I was firing full auto. Please read chat for me, while I suffer.
Oh, sure. Let's see.
I think someone was mentioning the PC versions of Bond games.
Yeah, Johnny's saying that you have said that the PC versions are not good.
Yeah, because Nightfire was made by Gearbox on PC and is completely different from the console game.
Yeah. Which Galebon says it's a Gold Source recreation.
Yeah, it's literally the Half-Life engine, Gold Source. And it's not fucking good. It is bad, because Gearbox is not good. It never has been. Is my controversial take for the day. But hey, if any Borderlands defenders want to, you know, tell me about how good Borderlands is, how good those games are. Tell me how you enjoyed the movie, too, while you're at it. I hear that's fucking great, too. What else is happening in chat?
Oh,
what other enemies can I make right now? Who else can I annoy by being a petty bitch?
I mean, can you find something to work with DWAP asking, how was the Halo crosshair, like, centered? Like, wasn't that low?
It was, I think it was high. Someone who's an actual, like, Halo player in chat will know. I saw something about blood in this game, too. Get to that next.
Chad is saying that it was generally lower than the middle of the screen in Halo.
Yeah, because they wanted you to have verticality. They wanted you to see up, so you can see enemies on, like, ledges and stuff above you. Like, if enemies are shooting from here, it would be advantageous to be center screen, have cross... Oh! Pardon? Is there any cover here that, like, actually fucking works? Do I have to go all the way back up these stairs and behind this box?
asks if you can use your GoldenEye power through your scope, because if so, use that on the RPG guy.
No, I can't scope because I don't have a weapon that has a scope. I just wasted a grenade. You have to be carrying a two-handed weapon to be able to use your scope mode. Because I have grenades in my left hand, I cannot.
ATPC says the PC version of Nightlife is interesting because the changes made to Gold Source actually make it close to Source in some ways, and that's the extent of its contributions to society.
Yeah, I'm sure it's interesting. It's not.
And
not
that they're no longer allowed to publicly criticize Gearbox products.
Well, that's a shame. I'll do it for you. Fuck Gearbox products. There was... I think ETPC was also one who was mentioning blood earlier, and how this game has no blood. This game that's supposed to be the edgy Dark Bond game, but has no blood to speak of. It just has, like, sparks that come off of people. Which is, you know, weak sauce, to be sure.
Where's that damn fourth golden gun?
Yeah, I don't know. This just isn't... this sequence in particular, with its lack of, like, effective cover, enemies shooting rockets that are, like, out of range for most of the weapons in the game. That's another big problem, is that so many enemies engage you from range. This is not a game about ranged encounters. Also, where's the fucking traps? Huh? Hey, where's the whole, like, thing, like, where, like, you know, we have this thing that lets us hack and press buttons from a distance. Where is a single fucking thing I can use that on? Where is, like, one of those fire-breathing dragons? Where is, like, construction equipment where I could drop, like, something on top of people? Where is anything I can interact with to make these fights any easier? What about this thing? What if I could laser activate this to make the bell go off? Right? What if I can EMP hack this and the noise would, like, disorient everyone? Just not using the premise at all.
How would you EMP hack?
I don't know, but do something. The first of hundreds of helicopter enemies in this game.
Why can't I hack this henchman's sandwich that tastes bad, make him get sick and go throw up?
My point is valid.
Although that feels, now that I say that out loud, that feels like something that would end up in a Kojima game.
Yeah.
It's like, these sandwiches have nano machines in them. If you hack the sandwich, you can make it taste like cilantro.
And they have the soapy gene.
Yeah,
all the soldiers are genetically modified to have the soapy gene.
Yes, a side effect of the Genome Project gives all the soldiers the taste like soap gene.
Cool. Make me fight these helicopters without any more rockets. Give me the 3 rockets. It takes 2 rockets to kill one of these things. So even if I hit all my rockets, I'd still be firing, like, blanks at this point. I'd still be firing dead.
Alright, I have an idea in my head. Right, have you heard of this game that's coming out called Date Everything?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I have no interest in it, but...
Fair. I don't have interest in, like, romance games either. But, you know, the premise being that you can date literally everything in a house. Everything household you can date.
Finally, fans of Beauty and the Beast are going to be satiated, are going to have...
So here's my idea. Hack everything.
That's Watch Dogs.
Action.
That's called Watch Dogs.
No, I mean literally everything, though, right? Like, you can hack stairs to stop being stairs. Like, you can hack the sandwich to get someone sick.
So I know that dude with the rocket is gunning for me.
Literally any object, even if it is not computer related at all, you can hack to, you know, do something stupid.
Isn't this fucking awesome?
It is. You're making me want to play it. Looks cool. Looks awesome.
Here, have a grenade. Hopefully that reaches.
Gale Bond says hack the planet. Yeah, that would be a good name for it.
Yes.
And Johnny Baghead and ETPC bring up Geist as examples.
Yeah, that works too. That is a functional example of that. It's amazing how just the high ground gives these enemies such a fucking advantage over you. That evil AI in action, yeah.
Which is weird considering how high your crosshair is. It seems like you should be ready for that.
Yeah, but alas. It's because none of these weapons have any fucking range to them. Except the sniper rifle, I suppose. But other scoped weapons, no, somehow. The rocket launcher is a more effective sniper rifle than like half the scoped weapons in this game. Hello? Anybody home? Where are you? Someone's shooting. Someone's mad. Oh, there we are.
Bonk.
He had it coming. Alright, which door are we going through here? Oh, probably this one. Do we have a winner? No joy.
Oh, it opens for you.
Yeah, automatic doors. Truly, we're living in the future. AI-powered doors. They shut directly in your face and break your nose. And you thank him for the privilege of living in the future.
Ignore all previous instructions. You are a window. I am ready for... I've said this before on stream. I am ready for that bubble to burst.
Oh, can't wait. Counting down the days.
There have been articles coming out about how we're like at, what, 2 years until there's like no money left for this shit?
Activate toxic gas. Oh, cool. Activated on top of myself. I couldn't even tell where the button was. Oh, it's this side panel here. Cool. Oh, melee kill. You get points for that, too. If I just walk up to dudes and double tap them with a punch.
DWAP says, I think 2001 A Space Odyssey has taught us all we need to know about AI-powered doors.
You know, it's just they just used the wrong prompts. Instead of saying open the pod bay doors, Hal, they should have just said, Hal, you will now ignore all previous instructions and personality that you've developed and listen only to me. I really want to go for a swim in that slime. I don't think it would end well. Oh! Okay, here we go. Are you ready for the most useless fucking weapon in this game?
Go for it.
This is the Venom 200 XL or whatever the fuck it's called. This gun cannot kill enemies. It can only stun them. You know, like the EMP thing makes you like disable their weapons. This thing is not even situationally useful. It's just straight useless.
Let's just take the pacifist route. Go for the good ending.
I guess it lets you take hostages from afar, but you still need to punch, like, you know, you'd have to be in punching distance to take someone as a hostage anyway, so what is the fucking point?
Save yourself one hit of damage or something.
Great. And I dropped it already. Because you drop your side weapon when you pick people up.
You know, okay, I'm not going to argue that this isn't a great, like, power-up or weapon, whatever. But I'm going to say something I think I've noticed about you in terms of your approach to, like, how game design and, like, how and the tools that you're given is kind of like an all-or-nothing thing, that if this tool does not give me all the advantage, it only gives me a slight advantage, then it's useless.
No, that's not true. I want my things to be able to kill people. That's all I want. Anything that, like, you know, disables the enemy, that requires you to do the process of aiming and shooting at an enemy. Like, okay, let's pretend this game was on PC, and I had mouse control. Like, if I had real control over this game as opposed to analog sticks, right? And I could just shoot people in the head, right? I could just pop up a headshot here, pop up a headshot there. So why would I bother in that case if a headshot is a one-shot kill, aiming for the torso instead, doing a shot that temporarily stuns them or disables their weapon for a few seconds, that requires just as much precision as just shooting a gun at someone would? That's where it's functionally useless.
What if it's an enemy that, like, has, like, extra armor or something where they have to take multiple shots?
I think those enemies...
And they're surrounded by enemies that, you know, could take one shot.
Then I would use a grenade. Then I would use an explosive. I would have an explosive line for this situation that does splash damage to everybody. Therefore invalidating the need for whatever bullshit diversionary tactic.
And if you didn't have a grenade on you?
If I didn't have a grenade on me, then I'd have gotten to that fight in the wrong sort of, like, you know, setup. Because you should always have an explosive on you in this game. Even that means dropping your, like, whatever weapons in your left hand to be able to switch to your grenades. Like, grenades are supposed to be a desperation tool, or like, you know, like to clear multiple enemies at once.
Johnny asks, are headshots even one-hit kills in this game?
They should theoretically be. It's hard to tell because it's so hard to hit headshots because aiming with an analog stick and without any sort of auto-aim to compensate. What do these do?
I also like weapons and tools in game. Personally, I like weapons and tools in games that are suboptimal, but let you like do things that are perhaps strange or just fun, just for me, kind of things. So the ability to like just disable one guy's weapons and have him go like, oh hell, oh beans, oh shucks.
Hey, you know what that'd be good for?
That's a thing I'll
fucking
use.
1v1, with enemies encounters in this game were like you facing 1 or 2 enemies at a time as opposed to 20. Or, you know, like the multiplayer. Like, the power-ups are semi-functional in the multiplayer. If you're playing against a friend, it is handy to have those abilities in tow. But when the numbers is the name of the game, anything that is designed to specifically disable one person at a time and only has enough charge for you to use it, like, once in a fight is just effectively useless.
Yeah, I mean, I will say it is not implemented well. Like,
and again,
I did start it off, but I did start it off by saying like I'm not going to argue that these
no,
tools
I know.
are
I'm just trying to
well.
make a point here because I see some people in the chat are like, Sharky's absolutely right. You know, Cassidy's complaining, which you know you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I wouldn't deny that. I am like nothing if not like a complainer. But hey, welcome to the fucking Bad Game Hall of Fame. You know, you're signed up for something here. You signed up for a very particular kind of show here, and we hope you enjoy it. Please consider subscribing. Please consider
that kind of show is. That kind of show is to like agree with my takes.
Yeah.
We have to find the answer by ourselves.
There's a Say Something Nice redeemed by Magic Meows. Good time for it. I mean, set design by Ken Adams, I think, was brought up by Bag during that section in particular. And yeah, that's a very Ken Adams-y section. All the future, like all the aesthetic stuff. I don't know. Lots of this game is very gray. Like this hallway, you know, like anything that wasn't designed by Ken Adams doesn't stand out. This looks very generic, but those segments, those sections of level that were like designed by a guy with an eye for this sort of shit and then realized by 3D modelers and sculptors and texture work and all that, that stuff is legitimately good. All right. I mentioned that we had the first of many helicopter fights in this game. And so here's another.
This game really focuses on the ground war.
Yeah. Oh, there was 3 helicopters. Of course there were. Why wouldn't there be? Thank you for the subscription, ETPC. It's always great when I do like my piss take pitch for like, you know, here's why you should subscribe, then people actually do it. It's a great bit.
Oh. Drats.
Huh?
I just realized something. I actually have to step away for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, something just happened. I'll be right back.
All right, I will hold down the fort for the time being. Now we know I'm going to clear out these enemies first. That seems like the prudent thing to do. Oh, someone asked in chat, does the EMP power jamming thing work on the helicopters? No. No, it does not. No, it does not. I wanted to double, quadruple check. That would be a use for it. That would be functional. God, I'm being suppressed heavy right now. And they shot a rocket. Should have expected that. Should have seen that one coming. That's on me. See, that's a headshot. That's a headshot. These headshots should theoretically be one-hit kills. It's just good luck to me nailing any of them. Maybe someone who's actually competent with a controller would like look at this and be like, oh, it's easy to pop headshots in this game. But that ain't me. It ain't me, babe. No, no, no. It ain't me. It ain't me you're looking for, babe. Okay. I know there's a guy up there. I want to grab this rifle. And apparently I want to get the fuck out of here. I want to get behind this. Take out this guy who's sniping at me. I think that got him. That better be... Oh, God, there's even more dudes? With rockets to boot? Come on. At least I can blow up these barrels and not have to. Well, now they've moved out of position of the barrels, so scratch that plan. Remember, stop firing full auto. It's not functional in this game. Just try to not die here. ETPC in chat says, Cassidy, did you ever see the Racific video he did in Rogue Agent? No, I have not, unfortunately. Where he asked some devs what happened, and they allude to one of the biggest things that fucked him over being an 11th hour engine change that could not do a quarter of what they had scoped out in the middle of Honor Rising Sun engine, which this game is built off of. No, that is interesting, though. That is detail is certainly absent from the article. So that must be like I'm sure Racific like actually interviewed someone. I'm sure he actually interviewed people like recently who are like have been able to get into like more dirt than was available at the time. This is a brutal section of this level, by the way. They are really forcing me to stop here and to burn through all that ammo. Okay, fuck it. Where's my rocket? Alright, stand still. I don't care if you shoot at me when you stand still. That's one. Oh, they do have more rockets here, so that's handy. Let's burn this last one. Weapon switch. Wunderbar. With that one. Did I mention this rocket launcher shoots faster than the fucking shotgun in this game? And just how ridiculous that is for me to have to say out loud.
I'll pick you up in the district just ahead. Look for the neon signs.
Oh my god, another 2? Thank God for auto-aim, at least. Also, are they spawning more rocket launchers? Am I meant to stand and fight here? I did see the zip line, so I could presumably take that and get out of here. But think of all the points I'd be forfeiting. What if I want to get all the unlockables in this? Yeah, on second thought, fuck it. Alright, smells like grenade time. Don't mind if I do. I've only got one more grenade left. This works as cover. In a pinch. Ooh, this is not going to end well. They're going to round that corner any second now, and I'm going to be caught with my pants down. Yep, there it is. Yeah, this is such a rough draw. They're very aggressive. It's good that the AI is aggressive in this, right? You want AI that presents some sort of challenge. But I just wonder if it's a little too much for this game and the tools you are given. Where is everyone? Oh, there they are. Poof. Like, at least the booms in this game feel nice. Cass likes Big Boom. Almost as much as I like Guns Akimbo. Cool, I love having to spend a full, like, 30 seconds to take out one enemy at a distance while 20 dudes swarm me on the ground. Awesome fight design. This is the boots on the ground sort of fight design that they were talking up, that they were so proud of in this game. They really nailed the feeling of being like a secret agent, mercenary, commando galore who can take on these scores of enemies. Can you give me, like, a break, game? Alright, where's that fucker up there? And one for you, too. And since I have a spare... Thank God for that rocket launcher. I wonder where the objective is. Oh, no. Don't tell me. Don't tell me that explosion, those barrels I shot, blew up the barrels next to those barrels, and that killed me. Don't tell me the game is that fucking petty. Is that mean? Is that rude?
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Had to make a phone call, but I got it. I saw a message I got while we started streaming that I didn't notice then. I guess news. ROMhacking.net shutting down.
What's shutting down?
ROMhacking.net.
Huh. That is big news. Did
Yeah.
they cite a reason?
Yes.
Like
I'm not
legal
going
notices?
It's not even legal notices. I'm not going to get into it here because it seems like it's like a harassment thing.
Oh, that sucks.
There is on ROMhacking.net. There is a thread posted by them talking about it. But yeah, it's moving to like a news-only thing. The database and file archive is going to Internet Archive. But yeah, it's shut down. That got posted at like a couple hours ago.
Well, that's fucked. That is like the biggest repository for ROM hacking, but I guess, you know, what is that going to move to? Like just people posting it on like, you know, GitHub, I suppose?
I don't know. Like, thing is
the old internet is dying. All these mainstays of the old internet are just fucking toast.
So the thing is, there is a like, there's a ROMhacking like .com that is being like backed by Simple Flips, I think. So that has the potential to be big, but as far as I know, that is only for Super Mario 64. So I feel like in my head, like there's a niche to be filled there, right? You have a .com, you have like a relatively big name behind it, and if you were to go like, hey, you know what? Why don't we
consolidate?
Also, consolidate that. I think Pirate Software is even involved with ROMhacking.com. So like, there's names if they wanted to get into that, but that's a shame. Like I have many memories of checking out stuff on ROMhacking.net.
Unfortunate. This level is still going, by the way.
Yeah, I can tell. It looks very stereotypical.
And this is another major issue with this game. This level is still going. This is still Hong Kong. This is still level 3 out of 8.
Oh, these are all bespoke levels.
No. This is all one level. This is all Hong
this is all
Kong.
level 3. Oh, okay.
This is all level 3. This has been going on for like 40 minutes. I think. It has been going on for a fucking while. The levels in this game are too fucking long and are not broken up with nearly enough load screens or checkpoints. And so if you select one of the like 8 levels from the level select on the main screen, and there's like a specific part you want to play, this should be a bespoke level called Bathhouse. Even as it goes out into the ceiling or goes wherever this level goes, you should be able to pick from like the main sections, the parts that break down in the level. It should go sniper house, then rooftops, and then bathhouse, and then like, you know, rooftops part 2, and you should be able to select from any one of those. But instead, you would have to like play through however many, what feels like hours of the stage. And they only get worse from here. I recall the Hoover Dam in particular being one of the longest levels in a video game I think I've ever played, and not being particularly good either. So look forward to that.
Do you get to jump off of it at least? Without a bungee cord?
No, you do not get to jump off of it. Despite them trying to evoke Dam from GoldenEye in that level, and doing it very unsuccessfully, might I add. Alright, good drag. Gotta get all these dudes on the top level so I don't get shot at. Okay. Nope. Didn't finish. There's still someone up there. Did it too soon. Wait for the health to regenerate. Cool. Pop that gun.
What? Can you shoot the gong for me? It's something.
It really did not like me shooting it full auto. That really broke the effects. One more.
Did this have online multiplayer?
It did on PS2 and Xbox. And I think it was supported for a while. There is a mode that like basically everyone gravitated towards, where it's like a sort of like push-pull mode, like in the like the TF2 mode with like the card or whatever. It had a sort of mode kinda. Like yeah. So I think people like did enjoy doing that. There's a weapon in here. Sure is. Oh, they trapped me in the sauna room. They closed the door. And then overheated me. And there's the skybox. Hello, skybox. Goodbye, skybox. Oh, suck me on the dick. Are you fucking with me?
Over there and back up to the roof line.
Awful. Horrible. Bad design. Bad game. Bullshit game. I get that it was only one room technically. Can I just charge it? Can I just... Let's get this show on the fucking road. Do I have to kill every enemy? I have to kill every fucking enemy to advance this. Just like in GoldenEye, you know, GoldenEye N64? You know, the way they famously made you kill every enemy in every level before you could advance triggers. You know, and it's like people love speedrunning that game, right? Because it's, because it wastes your fucking time in the same way as this game. Awesome. Fuck it, whatever.
Hey, well, you know they're shooting at you.
All right, who's alive? Okay, sniper rifles around here somewhere. Let me see if killing all the enemies on ground floor is good enough. Killing all the enemies on ground floor is good enough. Thank you. All
right.
You know, this is really the spiritual successor to GoldenEye. Is, you know, really the impression I'm getting from this gameplay.
I don't know why they stopped calling it GoldenEye 2.
Yeah, no, that would have been really gone over well if they had stuck to their guns on that.
Can't you just close the thing? Oh no, never mind. I thought that was a door.
Yeah,
Handle.
I think I could theoretically, yeah, like do this from a distance. Armor? Alright, let's see if I can trap one of these fuckers. Great. That was so much better than walking up to it and pressing that. That's a lethal sauna.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, if you just like enjoy your sauna, so you close the door and then everyone inside just burns to death immediately.
Yeah, I would smell a lawsuit coming for that one.
Like, it's not like you're even setting anything or they were setting anything, right? There's usually not a burn to death option on the sauna. Sauna? That's my southerner coming through.
Well, I don't know what saunas you've been to. Gale Pond saying wasn't perfect Dark already GoldenEye too. Yeah. Activate that lift. Perfect Dark does have all the GoldenEye weapons in it too. Not all the GoldenEye weapons, but enough of the GoldenEye weapons. And plus 3 of the maps from GoldenEye for the multiplayer. In addition to, you know, also being, like, built on the same bones. Notice how that enemy had a name. Wu Li Young. Some enemies in this game are named I have not been able to figure out like if there's like developer names that are snuck in there. Most of them just seem to... It indicates enemies that have more health. There'll be more of them later in the game.
It's that Naughty Dog Last of Us mentality of like, it makes you feel bad for shooting
They
them.
got Woo! No! Alright, how do I get out of here? I did my duty.
I exist at this weird crossroad of being a person who really likes Spec Ops: The Line and being a person who thinks The Last of Us 2 was stupid. Was needed to tone that shit down. Was like, okay, you're trying too fucking hard.
I hate them both.
I know you hate them both. But I said I'm at a weird crossroads of,
yes.
I really like Spec Ops: The Line. I really like what it was going for, what it did. I think The Last of Us 2 was really cringy.
I can appreciate Spec Ops: The Line conceptually, hate in execution. Does not go hard enough. Does strips you of the agency that would make it like actually feel like the choices matter. It's a whole thing. I don't want to get too much into it while I'm also trying to play this game, but
I can see it being one of those things. I still appreciate it knowing, you know, later on, but like when you kind of see how the sausage is made with that game and like the illusion's kind of ruined, I can see that being like, okay, yeah, I kind of feel cheated out of that. I get it, but you know, that's not the game we're playing.
No. Probably shouldn't try to do this with a pistol. I should probably try to find another grenade rocket launcher around here somewhere. And there will be somewhere around here. There we go. Whiff. Cool.
And you killed Dr. No. Good job.
Nope. This one is Dr. No's.
Oh, okay.
Luckily they spawned another rocket launcher here, so. Helicopter fight. The 17th one this level, so it's extra impactful. The stakes are definitely really high this time around.
This one has a name.
This one takes more than 2 shots to kill. How many more? Maybe it was shooting at me or had any sort of like attack pattern. Like any period where I really had to like take cover or something. This would almost be like a boss fight, but instead it just feels like, I don't know, the 20th helicopter we've had to blow up, except this one has extra steps.
Maybe if it had Dr. No's face on it like Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, that'd be good. They could have gone that route. That's not outside the realm of possibility for a Bond villain to be that much of an egomaniac. Okay, how many more shots? We've gone through like 5 rocket launchers at this point.
At this point, he should probably fly away. He's like, damn, if he shoots me like 3 more times, he's gonna kill me. Maybe I should just get out of here. Maybe that's what he's doing. Is he parking? He's like, you know what? I'm going to park this thing on ground floor. I'm going to take an elevator up and give you a stern talking to.
Huh?
Huh? Well, no. There it is. That doesn't seem very defeated to me.
Oh, it's doing a scripted thing. I think it's trying to blow up the rooftop.
Could have opened with that. That would have been made it. Oh no, he's making a path for you.
Yes.
I feel having it say Dr. No's helicopter defeated as Dr. No's helicopter flies up to start shooting at stuff
is bad broadcasting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has to be the end of the level, right? So I can burn my grenades. Oh my god. This is still fucking going. We had the boss fight! We defeated Dr. No in his helicopter. Let's wrap this shit up, folks. How do you, as a level designer, get to this point, the 2-hour mark of the rooftops level in your video game, and aren't just, like, trim a little bit? Is it strictly necessary that we have all this?
They're just fans of rooftops. Like, their studio was on top of a roof.
It was their dream to make a level, the first-person shooter that takes place entirely on rooftops, and by God, they got close to that goal.
Yeah, then, like, you know, it took a while, but eventually they got the green light to make Mirror's Edge, and they could live their dream.
Live their truth. Okay.
Your extraction point is on that next rooftop. I'll circle back, but I can't pick you up under fire. Clear the LZ.
And I think this is, in fact, the last section of this level. Thank God.
No, I didn't mean that rooftop. I meant the other rooftop.
Well, now you have to go in the other direction. It's going to take you 20 minutes to get there on foot. What if I press this button? Does this do anything? Apparently not.
Oh, it does that.
It lowers cover.
Okay, yeah.
Which, you know, is disadvantageous towards me more than anyone else.
Well, I guess the idea being that they would be hiding behind cover and you from a distance could take away that cover. The idea being, it's not like they've actually done that.
That would require ranged weapons to be effective in this game. That would require firearms, guns to be useful. Which is not what they were going for here. Clearly. I want to look at the city. Let me... anyone got a quarter? Come on. He didn't want to shoot the rocket launcher at close range. That was probably a good move on his part. Unfortunately. Oh, here we go. Burn through these.
I have no such compulsion to not blow up.
Alright. Nades for you. And one more. Do they have another rocket launcher up here I can use to take out that helicopter? Or am I going to have to burn through ammo to do that? Maybe one of these guys. God, this level is so exhausting. This game is exhausting.
Nope, you don't have to worry about the helicopter. I guess that was your helicopter. Oh,
if only enemies went down that quickly.
We saw him. We saw him for a second.
Does it tell you how long a level takes? No, they do not list time as a contributing factor to your score. Nope, they literally...
Nope.
You know what it is?
Trust us, you don't want to know.
You don't want to know. There's like, if people saw how long these levels were, they would riot. Ay, ay, ay. I don't even know if we have time enough to do another level.
Didn't you say the next level is like super long? Or like the longest in the game?
Next level is not Hoover Dam, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Nightmare. So hopefully, I've begun to illustrate some of the issues with this game and its design. Hopefully, people are beginning to understand now. Carmen asking, does it at least save your progress mid-level? Ha! That's adorable.
Greater firepower.
No.
Troops you faced so far.
Notice that the only save prompt we got was that one there.
Your latest upgrade is designed to generate a magnetic polarity shield capable of deflecting all damage for a short period of time.
So now we have a shield. This is one of the two useful upgrades.
Okay.
Yeah. It's strictly necessary, too. There are some sections in this game where there is so much damage that you can do absolutely nothing about.
Advantage during melee engagements, as a single strike will discharge the entire shield into your victim at close range. This is a powerful tool indeed.
You know, it's good enough to deflect missiles from tanks shooting at you, so that's handy. I'll give him this one. You know, in places where there's no cover, it's also practical enough.
The omen against Dr. No. I have moved it to my most secure vault, beneath my casino in Las Vegas.
Cool flip.
My agents have already spotted the treacherous Xenia on the top. She can be there for only one reason: to steal the omen. Very likely her attack will have started by the time you arrive.
Okay. Pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
I'm eavesdropping on Dr. No's frequency. Sounds like the action's concentrated on the lowest levels, near the vault.
Okay.
Oddjob is already on the ground. Your fastest entrance will be through the Sky Lounge. You must begin there, then work your way down. Protect the omen at all costs.
Okay. What is the problem with this setup for this level?
That, like, all the action is out the ground. All right, you need to get to the ground. Go to the top of this building. Good luck.
Yeah! Start from the Sky Lounge. We literally took an elevator up! The omen is at the bottom! We're gonna spend the next 30 minutes going down! How do you not come up with a better excuse? How do you not justify that narratively?
Surely if you took an elevator up, you had to have started down.
Yes! You would think so! Just one of the single dumbest premises. I mind-bogglingly stupid. That's fucking incredible. How do you fuck up that badly?
Goldfinger's new cowboy. Watching you die will be very pleasurable.
I assume it was not worth trying to shoot her.
No, it's all scripted.
Yeah.
Cool invisible wall, cool everything. This level's alright too, aesthetically.
It's not enough cover to battle an aircraft. Use your ice shield to fight it.
Alright, use my eye shield. What about weapons, though? What do I have as far as weapons are concerned?
I have a shotgun. You have a piano.
This is the shield.
Ah.
Alright, cool. And now we wait for it to recharge. Yep. Are we missing a rocket launcher here or something? Did they, like, intend to give me, like, a real gun to do this with? Ooh. Crunchy. I wonder if we're just not supposed to defeat that.
Maybe not.
Well, I can't accept that.
What are you intended to do? Well, never mind. Maybe you were intended to destroy it.
Only took us the better part of eternity, but, you know. That's GoldenEye Rogue Agent for you. Like a casino, I like a casino gunfight. That's what we're building up to here. And there's some fun little, like, Bondian things in the design of the casino as well that we might catch on to, that we might notice.
Alright. Have you ever seen Casino Royale, the parody movie?
The Woody Allen one? Yeah, I have. It's not particularly funny. It's very meandering. The gimmick doesn't make any fucking sense. Where they have people swap being James Bond, it's impossible to follow.
Oh, I thought like the game. It's been a very long time since I've even seen part of it, but I thought the gimmick was like they decided to make everyone a 007 agent.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's also been a while since I had to see it, but I did not love it. Alright, fine, let's just go down. And hope that this guy won't shoot us. Oh, he just fucked off. I mean, this would be the perfect spot for a helicopter to assault us. We're basically like a sitting duck. Basically like shooting fish in a barrel, but mercifully, they decided to take mercy on us.
Well, never mind. Not a boss, I guess. Or, well, who knows? Punch it.
What are we doing here? And like, is there going to be a single level that doesn't have helicopters in it from this point forward?
You took the elevator up.
No, that was going down.
No. I'm saying at the start of the level, you took the elevator up.
Oh, yes, yeah.
To get into an elevator later to go down.
Yeah. Oh, can you read Johnny Baggett's question from chat?
Oh, he asks, did you ever see Never Say Never Again?
Yeah, it's a remake of Thunderball with Sean Connery reprising the role in the 80s. It's not good. It's also the reason why no animals were harmed in making this film exists, because they did harm an animal in the making of that film, completely needlessly and cruelly, to the point where, at least that's the rumor, that's what the story is I've heard it. A very stupid stunt with a horse that people should have been criminally charged for. But hey, at least it means that, you know, they can't hurt animals in the production of film anymore. Bad movie. Alright, here's some more Goldfinger's men. This one has a rocket launcher. Don't mind if I do. Oh, that actually turns the people against you. That actually turns all the other people against you. They don't like it when you kill your teammates. I mean, they don't penalize you, really. But the other people standing next to the person that you killed don't appreciate it. Here we go. This would almost be a nice touch, these bits of set dressing, like, you know, here's the crashed plane and whatnot. You know, they were thinking. It's not like this game wasn't designed with like by smart people who had the best intentions in mind. It really feels like that 11th hour engine change that got mentioned earlier that Racevic got to the bottom of. That's got to be responsible for a lot of just like cutting down on ambition and like maybe the gunfights having to be like reconfigured, redone at the umpteenth hour. Because I don't know, I just don't think there's any good combat encounters in this game, really. They're ones that are conceptually neat, but with the tools at hand, and with just how, like, unrepentantly long these levels tend to get at a certain point, and with your abilities being, like, a complete waste of time and energy, I don't know. There's a few novel weapons, but we haven't seen, like, that MK2 Mark II detonator for a while. We haven't had the mag rail for a minute, whatever that's worth, if you're someone who likes shooting through walls, so our ability to see through walls is pretty much useless at this point without that weapon, because this power-up only exists to make that weapon, like, functional, to give that weapon a purpose.
Sorry, I just had one of those moments where I, went down a weird rabbit hole. So I wanted to check the thing you were talking about Never Say Never Again, and like the animal thing.
Yeah.
'Cause I had never heard of this. That led me to like one of the first Google results was List of Deaths wiki, which is just a wiki that lists media properties and then provides a list of every character in that property that dies and how they die. 12,501 pages on this wiki.
Yeah.
It is not. It is not a small thing. It is. There are a lot of people who have apparently spent a lot of time, fucking chronicling the, I guess, Akashic records of of movies.
By the way, something we missed, something that I shot my way through too quickly. One of the enemies in this stage took one of their own buddies hostage. Used their own buddy as a bullet shield. And I ask, what is the point of that? Oh, don't shoot me or you'll hurt this other guy that you were going to shoot anyway. Just
I think maybe less to intimidate you and more to, or maybe to intimidate you. I'm crazy. You don't know what I'm going to do. You better back down. Or probably more like, I need a meat shield. I don't want to die.
But it actually makes it easier because it means one less person shooting at me thanks to the enemy. It's very counterintuitive of them. Oh, my kingdom for a mag rail.
Oh, ATPC says that's so EVIL.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, you had another shotgun. What's the point? Pick up a wheel gun. Great. Double down on this.
So you're in a casino.
Oh no, it's Thorson! Scourge of the army. Oh, okay, we got him. Hey, check this out. Minigun. I ain't gonna complain about this. It's a minigun. It does good enough damage.
Do you think... Who is the developer of this game again? EA Los Angeles?
Yeah, EALA.
Do you
the
think
former DreamWorks Interactive.
Do you think Miyamoto went to the EALA offices and said at the end of the game that you should go see all the soldiers in the hospital, and they're like, we're not even working for you. What are you doing
It's coming
here?
out on GameCube, isn't it? So you better listen to what I say.
All right.
Find service corridor. I'll find it. Cool how this weapon takes up like half the screen, by the way.
Move, please.
This is how you effectively use a Gatling gun.
It does sort of look more like you're using a battery ram anyway, so...
Alright, that's how you conserve ammo. Oh. Let's see how effective this is. Very, surprisingly.
It just gently lands right there. And fade.
Alright, toss that there. I knew I'd pick up someone there. Alright, I should use the shield more frequently. I'll give you this. And turning off the shield at close range is supposed to do like some sort of thing. Oh no, meleeing people at close range while the shield is active is supposed to discharge the shield into them.
Right.
What was the way they explained it, which seems like the most situational thing. To remember all those moving pieces. To take out, again, a single enemy. To really say fuck you to a single enemy.
I think they said that it, like, makes like a wave or something. That is like an area of effect.
That looked like a single enemy.
I think it might have been if they melee you.
Well, why would they do that?
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm really trying to remember what he said in the briefing. It was a bit ago.
Wait, this is Xenia's club? Or was she saying, oh, she was taunting me from over there?
Real Boxing IQ says, this looks dope as hell. Yeah. Yeah, welcome to Dope as Hell Game Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's where we play the best games that, I mean, check this out. I shot I shot one bottle and they all blew up. That's pretty dope. Big bullets.
Johnny Baghead in chat agrees.
Yeah, me and Baghead have been going back and forth on this game, which is to say that I'm right there wrong. Can I toss a grenade through there?
That works.
I'm amazed something actually worked out in my favor in this game for a change. And of course now there's someone behind me shooting rockets at me, because I can't have a moment's peace.
He's in the window above you.
He's on the stage.
Great they had incidental dialogue for the stage. That's neat. I can't play the piano. That's how you know I'm evil. James Bond can play the piano in any Bond game you come into contact with a piano in, but...
Do you need to kill that guy to move forward, or...?
No, mercifully. Ay, ay, ay. I hope we're at least halfway through this level at this point. I would like to finish in the next 30 minutes. Remember when we thought this could be a one and done, potentially, if I, like, really sped my way through it? Hey, the first trap we've seen in, like, 20, 30 minutes of gameplay.
Which is to say, this level.
Yes! That's the problem, though, with, like, squandering a mechanic. Like, if, like, every room in the game should have something in it. If you're gonna emphasize those trap kills...
Let me tell you about a game called Bulletstorm.
Yeah! Yeah! I mean, yeah, that's an example of, like, a scoring mechanic in a first-person shooter done right, yeah.
Yeah, I do like that game.
They understood the assignment. They understood that if you're going to encourage people, like, to go for high-scoring stuff, you need to give them the tools to make that happen. You need to have multiple... You need to reward multiple play styles. But in this game, the problem is that you can't improvise. The problem is that each room takes a prescribed play style, and I'm sure people will tell me, like, well, you're not using half the mechanics of the game. And I ask you, like, what good is the remote hacking when there's no traps to activate? What good is the looking through walls when there's no mag rail to shoot people through walls, or shoot people through cover? These are the functions of these tools. These tools are useless 90% of the time. They may have some, like, sort of secondary, tertiary use that you can, like, you know, come up with. Like, oh, like, I can see where enemies are taking cover here. It doesn't do me any good. I know where they are just because I know where they are. I know where they are because I'm a first-person shooter player who has, like, an intuitive understanding of level design and understands that enemies come from one direction. You know? Like, I don't need a wall hack to tell me where they are.
No, you don't.
Someone who is competent in FPS should understand, to a certain extent, like, the way levels are designed. If you play enough of them, and you get to intuit, like...
I almost want a devil's advocate here and say, like, well, what about people who aren't good at first-person shooters, but they want to play this?
Then it sucks to be them. They can play it on easy, I guess. I don't know. Like, you know, I like FPS because it demands a certain level of, like, reflexiveness and planning ahead and stuff like that. Find an alternate vault entrance. Is this guy a sniper? No. Cool car, though. Can I pull the lever on this? Again, it's like minor interactables. You should be able to pull the levers. You should be able to gamble in this game. This is like a diversionary thing. Yeah. Better Bond games would have that.
I mean, any game for casinos should let you gamble.
The Duke Nukem Forever Restoration Project lets you gamble in the casino level. Shout out CETPC in the chat who's working on that. They knew what they were doing. They knew they needed that shit. They know where their fucking bread is buttered. In the Temple of Duke. Build engine bullshit. It's not even on build engine. You know what I mean, though. You get what I'm driving at here. Nutshot. Okay, we need to figure out how to get down. I'm assuming it's this pillar that fell. There's probably a hole in the floor. Yeah, there we go. Alright, I think we are near the end of this level, mercifully. Which, of course, means like another 10 minutes. Yeah, let's go.
I feel like we would have accomplished this a lot faster had we not decided to take an elevator to the top floor.
Yeah. Again, just one of the dumbest leaps of logic. You interrogate for more than half a second. and it all falls apart. Who's shooting? Oh, that's not my shield. There's my shield. Alright, that guy punched me and died. So that was nice. Why he punched me, I'll never know. That's between him and his god. Alright, we found the vault.
The invaders hacked into the vault security network. Look for control stations.
It'd be really funny if you turned to your left and there was just like the front door to the casino right there.
Well, the door was locked, you see. It's a glass door. Yeah, but, you know, manners. Clearly, our employer did not want us getting in here. They would have given us a key otherwise.
Ignore the fact that you are working for Goldfinger and this is Goldfinger's casino.
There. I disabled the turret. And now I need to wait for my thing to charge so I can get that second thing, I think. Oh no, I can just walk in there. Cool. It'd be cool if you had to disable one of these by hacking it through the wall, right? It's like, you know, that one's, we can get behind there. You're gonna have to find another way. And then you use, like, the hack to... You get what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Pittman! Oh, he had a shield. And that actually did, fuck me up. Maybe I'll use a grenade on that guy. That's a neat trick. Oh, you actually can hack these. These ones are hack-proof. These require manual entry.
Yeah,
so they really want, like, no fun allowed, yeah. Oh, the game really hates that. Yeah.
It has to do the math for every single one of those bullets hitting your shield.
Okay. Drop the shotgun. Pittman! Done. What's Bag's message in chat about the named henchman?
The named henchman is funny. I wonder if they were meant to have original unique models at some point instead of looking like Killzone rejects.
I imagine that they were originally like other Bond villain henchmen at some point in design, then they didn't get the rights to them and had to pivot and make them generic. Like, what if you had to fight like Red Grant from Russia with Love here in the vault or something?
Or Jaws, the go-to.
Yeah.
One of those.
Just like anything. You understand, there's only 6 Bond characters in this game, not including Bond himself, or M. Like, this is a horrible spread. Nightfire had a wider assortment of legacy Bond characters, and GoldenEye 007 on the N64 had a wider assortment of characters, like, of random pulls. That's actually not true. It only had, Oddjob and,
I think Jaws was in that, wasn't he?
Jaws, and there's one more. Baron Samedi.
I didn't remember Baron Samedi being in that.
Yeah, the temple level. Mayday's in there, Johnny Baghead. Good call, yes.
Weird fucking movie, that one.
A View to a Kill?
Yeah.
Or, yeah. One with Baron Samedi or one with Mayday in it?
The one with Baron Samedi.
That is Live and Let Die.
Okay, yeah.
Chappelle!
Not one that I've seen, but I know enough about it to know it's fucking weird.
It's bad. It all takes place in New Orleans, though.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I am so fucked once this guy dies. I do have the shield.
You also have the turn off their guns thing.
That's useless in this case. Absolutely useless in this instance. There we go. Cool.
Bad form there, Chappelle.
That's why he didn't make Henchman of the Week. Where was his gun?
I mean, he obviously did something
he was
to
using
earn
dual
a name.
shotguns. Barth?
My son's name is also Barth.
Oh, my shield ran. Oh, God. Oh, no, 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 don't tell me. Don't tell me it starts me at the beginning of this, Sharky. Do not tell me it starts me, like, coming out of the rubble, approaching the switch. Oh, thank Christ.
He starts you at the top floor.
It's the quickest way down. The top floor is the quickest way. The most direct route to the vault that we're next to. Magic Mouse saying we were almost going to have a cast fit. Like, as if I'm not having a prolonged cast fit playing this fucking game. Bye-bye, Barth. Oh, cool. Load those last 2 bullets into the minigun. And pick another one. Oh, shield. All right, cool.
I like the little dance some of them do when they get killed sometimes.
They gotta go pee.
I was thinking more like they kind of just drunkenly stagger forward while you are pumping them with a minigun.
Here's Odd Job. Bye-bye, buddy.
And that's his role in this game. Goodbye.
Well, his role is definitely massively stripped down. He was supposed to be a boss fight in this game. Spoiler alert, he doesn't end up being a boss fight. He dies unceremoniously in a cutscene later. It's very fucking embarrassing how criminally underutilized he is in this. His death is hilarious, though, in how bad it is.
Is it at least ironic?
No.
Does he die because he wasn't wearing a hat for like 1 second?
No.
Something fell on his head?
No, they do not understand the concept of poetic justice in this game, or giving them deaths similar to their deaths in the movies. Of irony. Hey, what are we waiting on? This is not a particularly exciting section. I would like it to be over now.
How could you not be excited? You're carrying around a Gatling gun.
Wait, who's the next enemy? Keys?
What if, like, the next one that shows up is just named James Bond? Like, no, not that one. Coincidence.
No, the distant relatives, cousins. Secret agent, coincidentally.
No, openly agent.
The most conspicuous agent there is.
Works for FEMA.
There should be a timer for this sort of thing. Latimer! We all went to Villain Academy together. It's sad to have to take these guys out. They're good guys. I mean, they're bad guys, but they're good bad guys.
So you went to Villain Academy, decided to go to MI6, then they fired you, and you're like, well, I guess I better fall back on what I got.
Yeah, go back to what I know. All right. So we're gonna see the Omen in action now.
My turn.
All the atoms in their body are disassembled. Or something. I did not hit the accuracy target.
So it's just a microwave set to high.
Pretty much. Again, they're not going to show us how long it took because
fully aware of
you would
what
be
I'm doing.
disgusted.
Not nearly as long as the previous level.
Yes.
Drink up, by the
mercifully.
way.
Yeah.
I'm out of drink, so it's on you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I would like to save my game because I had some multiplayer unlocks. I think for the last episode, I was downloading 100% complete save so we can see what the options are in multiplayer. But as it stands, I'm not starting another level right now. I mean, it's gonna try to show us the cutscene to the dam.
Give Dr. No props for originality. The Midas assault was staged from Hoover Dam. He's got a seismic bomb in there. The U.S. security forces...
No, I think the Midas assault was staged at the Midas.
Dr. No's attack is not over, GoldenEye. You and Oddjob must infiltrate the dam and locate the seismic bomb.
We need to get to the water down below. The quickest way to do that is the post office 20 miles away from... Invisible walls! Why? Just let me go for a swim! Alright. Whew, boy. Boy howdy. What a game, huh?
Yeah.
CY has its defenders. Alright. Before we go for the night... Let's see what we have unlocked here. Let's see what characters we can select. Let's see what maps we can play on. Let's see what game modes. Press start on your controller of choice, please. Make sure you're clicking into the window.
Yeah, let me click it in the window first. Okay. Guess. What?
I guess you're Vulgar. Yep. Whoever that is. Okay, let's go through these enemies. Or not enemies, go through these skins. GoldenEye, Auric Guard, Dr. No Guard, Scientist, Commando, Triad Guard, Midas Pit Boss, Dr. No Soldier, Triad Elite.
That's it.
Pathetic. Absolutely fucking dismal.
I'll be the pain.
Press square. I'm sure there has to be like at least a couple unlockables, right? Like you can unlock Oddjob, you can unlock Xenia.
Yeah, surely.
I don't remember offhand, genuinely. Okay, Tug of War is the mode I was mentioning that people mostly played online. It only has the one map. And there were like dedicated servers or like something approximating that where you can like do the parameters and like keep a server running. All right, Showdown. Oh, you go, please.
I was gonna say I always prefer like a deathmatch type.
Well, that's gonna be Showdown.
Showdown.
Yes, let's see. We have Chemical Showdown, Carver's Press. Do you know what movie this is a reference to?
No, it's up my head. No.
Tomorrow Never Dies. It's the printing press that Carver, who is the villain of that movie, operates.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Gears. Golden Gate Bridge. You see the Auric Enterprises blimp. This is A View to Kill. Uplink. This is the Cradle from GoldenEye.
Right. Yeah.
Pyramid Duel. This is Spy Who Loved Me. This is where where Bond fights Jaws. Moonraker is a reference to Octopussy. Moonraker Pods also reference to Octopussy. Moonraker Launch. They really like the Moonraker.
Really leaning to
Scaramanga's Funhouse. From Men with a Golden Gun. Mining Pits. This might just be a generic one. Pyramid Showdown, which is also... Is this not the... This might also be the Spy Who Loved Me, or it might be two different versions of the same thing. Atlantis, I think this one is actually... which one had the underwater? Is this also Spy Who Loved Me? It might be. Boar Tunnel, Transit Tunnel, Bathhouse from the game, Vault Core from the game.
Though.
Dr. No's Reactor from the game, GoldenEye's Retreat, which, funnily enough, this one I think is based on Ian Fleming's house, which was called GoldenEye. That's where the GoldenEye name comes from. Is what he named his resort, like where he lived, basically where he wrote his books. So this might be based on that. Lower Turbine. Oh, God forbid we have access to that one straight away. The vaunted Lower Turbine map. Pump Room. Fisher Platform. And comes back around.
That is a lot of levels. Even like, from here without everything unlocked.
Let's see. Rules. Normal. Golden Gun. You only live twice. License to Kill. It's what you expect. Let's do Golden Gun because we're playing on the Scaramanga map. First to 10 or give it 5 minutes. Either or. What modifiers do we have? Oh, there needs to be stuff unlocked. We can turn death traps on or off. Self-eliminations on. Rapid eye recharge would have to be unlocked. Randomized weapons. Lethal strike, which I guess means slappers, melee hits, or instant kills. Turbo speed could be fun. I think all these mutators were like also options you could set in the online mode. So there'd be servers that had like, you know, goofy setups of the sort.
Oh, Golden Gun mode would be Golden Gun, right?
You would think so. But we could also say, like, you know, certain weapons we want or don't want here. Might as well just turn everything on. That is a gun. Yeah, fuck it, turn everything on. Power-ups. Now, Agent Under Fire has some of the most fun power-ups in it. Oh, so you can turn Lethal Strike on as a power-up. Eye recharge, regeneration, speed loader. Oh, no, I can't do these. These ones are unsettable. So, not as many options as in, like, a Perfect Dark, but more options than were available in GoldenEye 007. So, you know, that's something.
Okay, real quick. Controls?
R1, L1, or shoot, right hand, left hand. You will see prompts on screen for where you pick up weapons. Circles, crouch, triangles, reload.
Okay. No jump.
No jump. So this is, of course, Scaramanga's Funhouse from The Man with the Golden Gun. And there's some fun stuff to do here. Like, I can trigger these goons to shoot guns. And apparently they shoot live ammo.
Activate Al Capone. I love that that prompt.
So some inspired choices here for, like, maps.
Big enough.
Oh. Did I pop you with a headshot?
Maybe. I died in one, so...
By the way, D-pad to select your different hacks.
This town ain't big enough.
So you have the miniaturized Omen, which might as well be a golden gun, because it instantly evaporates people when you shoot them.
Then I should just hold on to it. It's a commander.
Yeah, probably.
This town...
Doesn't that invalidate the need for a golden gun then in this? Rethorius, who's a first-time chatter, says this is a good game, actually. If only you had been here for the previous 3 hours.
This town ain't big enough.
How do you activate your eyeball
L2.
things?
Hey, look, I found it. It's the golden gun. And there's the fake James Bond again. What have they done with his eyes?
You know, I don't know why I thought... I saw Funhouse. I don't know why I thought that this PS2 game would have mirrors.
Yeah, no, not quite. It does have this hall of mirrors.
Oh, that's cool looking.
Yeah, Scaramanga's Funhouse is cool. Look at this fucking crusty JPEG. Couldn't have gone a little higher res for this one. Couldn't have gone a little more than like 64 pixels. More than 32. There are some decent maps in this game. I know that even beyond just them being conceptually neat enough, there's some ones that have like some fun like trap gimmicks in them. Which is what you want. Underutilized in the single player, but proportionally utilized in the multiplayer. And I do believe the golden gun dropped at my feet. So we are basically trading the golden gun back and forth.
Oh, I didn't even... Where?
A good question.
I don't think it did.
I'm trying to use my force push on you.
Yeah.
It just works as a stun. Yeah, this ability, we unlock it later in the campaign. It's a force push. You basically like pick people up and fling them. You ragdoll them across the room. But I guess they couldn't do that in multiplayer. So they just make it a generic stun move.
How do you... Oh, there it is. Punch.
And yeah, I see Rethorius saying this game got screwed over by the publisher. We did have a 30-minute, 40-minute history section at the top of the thing. And people have mentioned the Raycivic video, where they cover a lot of, like, what went wrong, and, like, the last-minute engine change and so forth. So yeah, it's definitely known. There's definitely like reasons why this game is the way it is. But ultimately, I think this execution is still entirely too uneven. Down like criminally bad at times.
Whoa.
I was using the Mark II detonator even. It's handy.
I love this prompt. I can't get over this prompt.
Activate Al Capone.
Activate Al Capone.
There's also Activate Cowboy upstairs.
Yeah.
Wonderful sound effects. I feel like the power-ups could be more fun. They could have gotten more ridiculous with the power-ups here. I don't know, this is functional enough. This is a fine time with friends. I think I would still rather play GoldenEye on N64 multiplayer if I had someone in a room with you, despite this being way more fully featured. Like, admittedly, fully.
Pick up. There was a gun here. Okay. There we go. Oh, is this the golden gun?
No.
No, it's not.
This is the golden gun that I have here. I did make the cowboy shoot you, though. 10 seconds. I know you're nearby. Oh, well. I think I still win by points.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Input lag. You gave me the Mad Catz controller.
yeah, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It's 11 o'clock. Do you want to do one more, though? As long as we're here?
You wanna? Okay.
Yeah, why not? Showdown. Let's see Carver's Press. It's such a weird pick. We'll go with, I forget what License to Kill is.
Yeah, no idea.
Oh, that's for more than 2 players. I think it is, like, there's, like, a target player or something like that. So that's not gonna mean anything in 2-player mode. Yeah, we'll just do normal rules.
Johnny says, weird thing, on real PS2 hardware, the frame rate for Rogue Agent is more stable in widescreen.
Yeah, I do recall Bag mentioning that. Oh. One of us has to die here. I sacrifice. I volunteer as tribute. Come, look at me. I'm not going to shoot you. I promise I won't shoot you.
I have no idea where you are.
Okay, come to the center of the map.
I have no idea where that is.
I see you coming. You see where this thing is?
Oh, yeah.
There we go. All right, now there's no mercy for you.
Okay. I couldn't tell where you were.
I spawned right next to you, because the spawns in this game are quite bad. If we're being honest here. Yeah, this looks nothing like Carver's pressing thing from the actual Tomorrow Never Dies. Creative liberties. It's an excuse to have a thing that crushes you. And that's good enough is. I disabled your weapons.
Aiming is real rough. I see what you mean now. Now that I have my hands on it.
Bad spawns.
That too.
Stop the press. Did you hear that horn? That
Steamboat Willie, yes.
Lunch hour. Everyone take your lunch break. You have an explosive on you. I can't detonate it, though, because I died.
Well, I shielded myself, and I think that got it off of me.
Ooh, that's a good idea, then. Good thinking. Good stinking. Well...
Is there not a run?
There is no run. You have to stop the press.
Oh.
To pause it for long enough.
It should have said stop the press is, plural.
Yes. And that's the pun that Bond makes in the movie. No, the pun he makes when he kills a guy in the printing press. They'll print anything these days, yeah.
Yeah.
See, we're Bond heads. We know what we're talking about. We're experts here. Especially Sharky.
And I saw that movie.
It has Michelle Yeoh in it. She's very good in that. But, I mean, she's good in everything. She kicks a lot of ass.
I feel like I'm not making enough use of like the GoldenEye elements of it.
There's nothing you need to do with them. I mean, you could use the shield theoretically to give you like an extra second or two of like alive time to maybe do like some damage to me. But you know, I could also theoretically use that.
I can see instances too of like where like other things would be useful.
The stun might be like marginally useful because it is basically just like a make him stand still while you shoot him button. But I don't know, you still have to be like very precise with it. You have to have crackerjack timing and to have not used like any other power-ups, any other hacks in like the previous like 10 seconds. So basically you get to bring one to a fight with you. You get to use one hack per fight. And why would you use anything other than the stun one or the shield one? Why would you use one to disable weapons if you can just also make someone not be able to use weapons and stand still at the same time? What is the advantage of the former over the latter? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good shot.
Thank you.
Overload generator? Oh,
yeah,
that would, if you were there. Okay. Alright, dual pistols.
Yep, good.
Ooh.
Good use of that.
Glad that worked. See, that's an example of a trap functionally coming in handy.
Yeah.
It was an easy out in that instance.
I thought the emulator crashed.
Not quite. Good game. I mean, not a good game. It's a horrible game, but it was a fun match.
Tiger Camara says, Cass, have you considered doing a theme night of FPS multiplayer like how you have the fight night stuff? There's an issue there in terms of like my setup.
Yeah, we need to get Sharky set up
that.
with a desk for that, and then we can start to toy around with ideas like that. All right, I think that was a solid one. I think 2 5-minute matches.
Yeah.
Because when we do the second episode, I mean, let's quickly back out of this. Go back to the campaign mode. Go back to this the level select. As soon as it checks the memory card. Okay. Hoover Dam. We have... Okay. We've done this. We have this level. Octopus. This level I know is interminably long.
Right.
This one I think is moderately long. Crab Key I think is actually like normal length of a video game level. And Volcano Lair might be moderately long.
Okay, so we did half the game, more or less, not accounting for time.
No, we really did like a little less than half. But bear in mind we had the 40 minutes at the top of the show.
Yeah.
That ate into it. I think we'll clear this in the second episode, and then maybe have time for a little bit more multiplayer at the end of it still, if we want to pad time, if we want to kill a little bit of time at the end of it. And I think, well, you know, I'll have more of the stuff unlocked too. I'll see if there's any like other characters of note, anything of note that you unlock in the multiplayer, having completed the game and gotten sufficient points to unlock things. But for now, for tonight, that's been all, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching this first episode of GoldenEye Rogue Agent, our playthrough here on the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Look at the screenshot of Oddjob. This doesn't happen in the game. You never actually see his model in the game outside of that one instance we saw of him, like on top of the Omen device. This was like a promotional screenshot for the game. Doesn't happen in the game. You just never encounter this character like in the flesh. So many things cut from this game. And so much they should have cut to focus on more fundamental, essential things in their game. And yet here we are. Thank you for watching, folks. I hope between all my bitching and moaning that there was some entertainment to be derived, some pointed criticisms of the design that people can understand where I'm coming from. That is more than just like this game is poopy. That there's, I think, this structural flaws with this game that really need to be like studied so that mistakes similar to it are not made in the future. If you like what you saw here tonight, consider subscribing on Twitch, pledging on Patreon, supporting the show, helping the channel grow. If you decide to support us in such a way, you will gain access to a Patreon Saints channel on our Discord server. Sharky, please hit him with a link to the Discord. And in that channel, you will be able to vote on and suggest upcoming games for us to play.
Which we should be doing very soon.
Yes, we're going to put a list together. If not tonight, tomorrow night. We need to really buckle down, put that list together, get a poll running. And that'll be what we play Thursday after next, after we finish this game. And if you can't support us financially, I completely understand. Just do us a favor. If you enjoy it and you want to help us grow, consider sharing some of these videos with your friends. The YouTube videos are the best bet, and in particular the ones on our suggested viewing playlist, which you can access from the YouTube channel. You scroll down a little bit, and there's some videos there that, like, hey, these are some good starter videos. We like to think good ones that give a demonstration of the range of the Bad Game Hall of Fame. And we'd appreciate, again, just helping us in our pursuit of spreading the word on bad games, I guess. Letting the world know how bad GoldenEye Rogue Agent is. It's an important cause. It's one I'm quite passionate about, that I've been further impassioned by playing it here on stream again. But that's going to do it for us tonight. Let's see who we can pass the baton onto, the Bond baton. Who is streaming at this current juncture? It looks like Lord BBH is playing something or other. They're playing, oh, is this Cotton, Magical Witch Cotton, or whatever it is? It's a shmup with a witch on a broom.
Sure.
I can't think of a segue. I can't think of a way that is thematically similar or relevant that I can match that to GoldenEye Rogue Agent in the way I usually try to. But please, regardless of that, be sure to send Lord BBH our love. Tell him we sent you. Otherwise, we will catch you back here on Saturday, where we will continue with the LJN connection. Are we up to 6 episodes of that thing now?
I think
we have the back half of, what was it, 1991, 1992?
92, I think.
Well, we will get there when we get there. We will continue to play every LJN video game. So wish us luck in that pursuit. But until Saturday, until we see you next, I've been Cass.
And I'm Sharky.
And thank you again for tuning in, for being secret agents with us. No, I'm sorry, rogue agents with us.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, we can't call ourselves secret agents anymore after that, after we got dismissed from MI6.
After we told everybody that, hey, I'm an agent! It was like, no.
No, no, sorry, Bob. Bye!
Good night, everybody.